What's up, guys? Welcome to the fourth quarter once again. We are back live on YouTube. You can also catch us on all your favorite podcasts, whether that's Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeartRadio. We are in the building. You can catch us on YouTube live every Tuesday. I'm gonna probably say around 7:15 away to 7:30. What is going on, guys? What's up?
What's going on? What's going on?
All right. So this is gonna be very, very interesting. The NBA season is back, guys. Now, listen, it starts next week, October 24th. October 24th, we're going to go down and do our predictions for the season. Who's going to win it all? Y'all already know who I'm picking. I'm a homer. I'm a homer, man. I'm a homer, baby. Anyway, I'll save my hype for next week. Y'all, everybody knows who's my favorite team. And yes, I am a typical Lakers fan. I'm very harsh and critical, and I deserve, when we win championships in LA, that's what we're about. And shout out my favorite player right behind me, Kobe Bean Bryant. Rest his soul. Yeah, he was a Laker too. Some say the best Laker of all time, and I agree with them. Anyway, guys, all right, man. How's everybody doing? Everybody is good and great. Craig, I saw your face, man.
You said the best Laker of all time? Is that what you said?
That's what Magic said, man.
Okay.
Now, some people can say Magic. Some people say Kareem, but Kobe's up there.
Okay.
I think so.
I mean, he's up there, yeah.
Yeah. Some people say Magic's the greatest. Some people do. A lot of fans do. I don't know, but I know who I'm picking. I'm going to listen. If Magic says it, there's nothing I can do. He's the greatest point guard
ever. People say he's not.
Until he's not. I don't know.
Some people are saying he's not right now.
Yeah. Well, I think he addressed that. I kind of agree with him on that. I don't think Steph is. Steph is up there. I just don't think he's on Magic status yet. But Steph has changed the game worldwide. But I just don't think Steph is the greatest point guard. I actually watched the podcast because he was on Gilbert Arenas' podcast. It was him, Josiah, Brandon Jennings, Steve Kerr, and Gilbert. And that's what Steve Kerr was like. I mean, not Steve Kerr. That's what Stephen Curry was like. He's the greatest point guard ever.
It's unfair. I think if we're talking about Curry, I think it's unfair. Sure. I think it's unfair to compare him to a Magic or even a Isaiah or even a John Stockton or even because he's been asked to do different things. Like he's a different type of player. He's been asked to do different things. So it's like if, for an instance, what Magic was asked to do for the Lakers, or what Isaiah was asked to do for the Pistons, Curry wasn't asked to do for the Warriors. It's a different skill set, different mindset. So I think it's tough. So in my eyes, if you're going to compare it, then you got to do it by winning. You can't do it by stats because they're asked to do different things. So if you're going to compare it, you got to compare it by winning. You can't compare it by stats or because it's not going to be comparable because like Magic wasn't asked to go out there and drop 30 a night.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it'll be unfair to kind of compare it because if we're going off stats, then yeah, you got to almost say Curry. But then again, Curry doesn't have the assist Magic or Stockton or some of them or Mark Jackson some of them had because he's not asked to distribute the ball like they were. Mm-hmm. or run an offense like they were. So it's not kind of fair to kind of give that comparison. So the only way really with them, you can give comparisons if we're talking about this flat out winning.
Mm-hmm.
In my eyes, I mean, I don't think you compare players like that or compare them because they were asked to do different things.
Mm.
I got
What,
Steph at 2.
what do you think, Craig?
I mean, I have Steph at 2.
Yeah, I have Steph at 2 too. I just
He's the greatest shooter ever. They're asked to do different things, but I mean, it's like you. I think at the end of the day, you still have to compare. Maybe not compare directly, but like you have to group the point guards and be like, who's the greatest point guard of all time? I think you have to group the shooting guards and it's like by position. You have to. I mean, you don't have to, but I think people are going to group them by their position and figure out who is the greatest point guard of all time. Who's the greatest shooting guard of all time? Like everybody, that's usually what happens, unless you just directly say just pick 5 of the greatest players or something like that. But yeah, I mean, Magic 6'9", trying to run point versus Steph, who's like 6'3", asked to do a lot of different things. Times have changed this era versus the era Magic was playing in. Yeah, I get it. It's 2 different eras, but I mean, eventually you just have to figure out who. I mean, to me, I'm just going to go off of what I've seen and how I've seen them play. Now, I was a kid when Magic was playing for the most part.
Yeah,
I seen him play into the 90s, but I mean, I've seen Isaiah play. I've seen like Allen Iverson play and Stockton and all those guys. So from what I've seen and what I've seen on tape of like Oscar Robertson and all those other guys, Bob Cousy and everybody like that, I'm just going off that's what Steph has done and what I've seen him do. So and the championships that he's won, I just have him at 2 at this point. Now if he wins one more, Magic is. I got Magic in my top 5 of all time. Steph is right now at 11, so I don't think he's going to make that from 11 to 5.
That's a big jump,
but I think he can definitely put himself in the top 10 for me. And that means probably Tim Duncan's going to go out, but it's tough.
It's tough, man. I got Magic. We do base a lot, not only on winning, but other factors. Like Magic has a lot of All NBA, a lot. He has more MVPs. He might. Does Magic have 2 MVPs?
Steph has 2.
Magic has 2, right?
Unanimous MVP, which I don't know how that's possible, but I'm not sure. I'll look it up real quick.
He has the. I'm about to look it up. He has the unanimous. Yeah, Magic has 3 MVPs and 3 Finals MVPs. 12 All-Star, 9 NBA First All-Team, and a Second All-Team. And he led the league in assists 4 times, steals twice. Yeah, he's and let me. I don't see any records. Because I believe he has the most. I think he has the most triple. I know he has the most assist.
Doesn't have the most triple double.
You say he doesn't?
No.
Does Jokic break it?
Russell Westbrook has the most triple doubles.
No, in the playoffs. He was saying in the playoffs.
I don't know about that one.
I think he might have the most.
He probably does. I mean, he's in the playoffs. It's Magic.
Yeah.
It's still. It's
and I think he has the most assists in the playoffs too.
Probably. I mean, he's been to the finals 9 times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? That's what he was. That's exactly what he was saying. Like he was like, "Hey, you know," and I love Curry. I just, and a lot of NBA players like Gilbert Arenas will always say, "Take the championships away." I would.
What?
If he always says, "Take the championships away and measure and play off their awards."
You can't, because then you say winning. That's like saying winning doesn't matter. You can't do that. At the end of the day, I feel like you should be measured on your wins. If you measure just off stats, so I told somebody, so this the thing.
Yeah, even if you measure off stats, Magic is still beating Steph Curry.
Because I told somebody, because my brother, one of my folks, we was talking about Derrick Henry. I said if Derrick Henry can retire right now, and if you let Megatron in the Hall of Fame, you gotta let Derrick Henry in right now. Derrick Henry can retire right now, and his stats right now is Hall of Fame. If you let Calvin Johnson in, you gotta let Derrick Henry in off of what he's done. Right now, he can retire right now. He got a year left on his contract. I feel like Derrick Henry has dominated his era. So I'm like, what do we like?
Is he on a?
If Patrick Mahomes retires,
right? Yeah. Megatron was on an all-decade team too, though. That all-decade team matters a lot.
I get that, but Derrick Henry will be on all. There's no way Derrick Henry not gonna be on all-decade team if you go from the next. What would it
What's
be?
The next decade?
2030?
2030.
He gonna be on. I mean, at this rate, he on it. There's no way you leave him off that.
He's gonna have to keep playing though, Mo.
He's not gonna make that team. He just doesn't. It doesn't lap.
It's hard to make all decade team.
Overlap 2 decades.
I don't know. That's just me. That's my opinion. If he retire right now, even if he do 2 more seasons, like this year been tough for him. I get it. It's been tough sledding. Like it's about to get tougher because I don't know how long Tannehill about to be out. So with Malik Willis in there, you know they're gonna run the ball. It's about to get that's about to get tough.
I mean, I don't. He might make the 2030s.
Yeah, that'll be the decade, right? 2030, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, at the time he came in, because he came in after 2010, so he can't be the 2010 through 2020.
Did they do the 2020 all decade team?
I don't
know. They should have, right?
They should have, because that'd be 2010 to 2020.
Yeah. What's this? Hold on, let me make sure this is the all-decade team 2020. See, this is the headline of 2010 decade team. Is the 2020 NFL decade team out?
I would hope they would do one. They doing one every 10 years.
I don't see it out yet.
Oh, that's crazy. Maybe they working on it. Maybe they still debating it. I would think you would have one out by now. That's now you in 2023.
Yeah, I don't think it's out yet.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
I don't know. Yeah. It doesn't. I'm shocked on that. I thought it would have it. I'm shocked, but all decade team is.
I mean, they haven't done it yet. They got predictions out there, so Derrick Henry.
Yeah, it's not done yet.
Team. Most likely, Derrick Henry is going to be on unless they're doing 2020s. The 2020 team will be 2020 to 2023.
Yeah,
to 2030. I mean,
sometimes they do that.
So it might be that way, and if they do it that way, then
yeah,
I think Derrick Henry's going to be on the team. So.
Yeah, so it says, the teams are on the decade team is only for players that would have played 2010 to 2020. I mean, you
had to play. You had to play those 10 years. You couldn't like come in the midway and be on the decade. Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's fair because
like
if you came in midway and you dominate, you can't be an all-decade team because you ain't played no decade. Like that ain't no. Like, yeah, I get that. I get it.
So the question is, Patrick. I don't know. Patrick Mahomes might be on that joint.
Yeah, I mean, because he ain't been there 10 years. Like, I mean, I get it. They can't help when you drafted, but I don't know. I mean, based off the rules, based off the rules, but I get it.
It says. Oh wait, this is for 2010 or after 2019. So I don't know. We gotta see. I don't know how it's. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know when they come out with it, but like here's on the 2010. Mo, this is an example, and we're gonna go to the NBA. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Frank Gore, Marshawn Lynch, LaShawn McCoy, Adrian Peterson.
Okay.
Receivers: Antonio Brown, Larry Fitzgerald, Calvin Johnson, Julio Jones. Tight end, Rob Gronkowski and Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce made it.
Can't argue that.
The flex, Darren Sproles. Tackles, Jason Peters, Tyron Smith, Joe Thomas, and Joe Staley. A lot of these players end up going into the Hall of Fame.
Is Tyron Smith going to Hall of Fame?
Yeah, probably.
He's still with Dallas? Oh, yeah. I guess we all-decade team. You got to kind of.
The all-decade team is – I didn't even know about it till Shannon Sharp said one time. He said, Skip, I made an all-decade team. Then I started looking at all the Hall of Famers that made all-decade teams. It's a lot.
Listen, I know. I mean,
It's hard to make all. That's basically an all-decade team is saying you were all-pro for 10 years.
Listen, everybody
tough.
Everybody get beat once in a while. Everybody get beat once in a while, but boy, Khalil Mack beat Tyron Smith last night. I said, Lord have mercy.
We're gonna get to that. Look, and then the guards, Javari Evans, Logan Makins, Zach Martin, Marshall Yonda, center Alec Max, Marquise Pouncey, defensive end Calais Campbell, Cameron Jordan, Julius Peppers, J.J. Watt, D tackles Geno Atkins, Fletcher Cox, Aaron Donald, and Dominic Sue. Like these is like linebacker Chandler Jones, Luke Luckley, Khalil Mack, Von Miller, Bobby Wagner, Patrick Willis. Patrick Willis is already a 2-time finalist. He's gonna get in soon. Corners, Patrick Peterson, Darrell Reeves, Richard Sherman, Chris Harris Jr., Tyrann Mathieu, Eric Berry, Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, Eric Weddle. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that's from the all-decade team is going to make the Hall of Fame. It's just a lot of all-decade players made the Hall of Fame. Not every all-decade player made it, but it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to either – I don't know who's going to be on the 2020. Patrick Mahomes might have slid in there because he might have had a Super Bowl MVP and won an MVP. But he's definitely going to be on the 2031. Him, Tyreek Hill. I don't know the other quarterback. Travis Kelce probably be on that one. Jason Kelce, the center, probably be on there. Now Derrick Henry might be on that joint, Mo. He might be, but I think he got a ball. He's 29. If he got a couple more years, he'll be good, man. He'll be good. If he balls out this year, which I think he can, he'll be good because he's balling out. He's making a case, Mo, but we gotta see. I thought the 2020 was out, but I don't know. Maybe
2020 is from the 2020 team is from 2020 to 2030.
Oh, see, there it is. Yeah, so there it is, Mo. So he might be on there, Mo. He might be on there. If he balls out 2 more years, he'd probably be on there. He'll probably be on there, Mo.
Yeah.
It'll probably be him, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Nick Chubb probably be on there. You know, it's going to be interesting. But that's the ultimate that decade team. And if you make about 5 All-Pros, have a decade team, 8 Pro Bowlers, you're probably getting in the Hall. You know what I'm saying? So this is interesting. But Craig, that was a good warm up. Craig, let's talk NBA awards for the 2023-2024 season. Craig, who do you have winning Rookie of the Year?
I had Wemby, but that's an easy answer. So I changed it to Scoot Henderson.
Okay.
Wemby's probably going to win it, but I'm going with Scoot just because it's different, and I think he's going to be. He's in a good position because he's the starting point guard now that Dame's gone. And he's going to have a lot.
Yeah.
Lot of chances to score. The team is in rebuild mode, so he's pretty much the main guy. They still have some other solid pieces on that team now. Simmons is good. Who else is on that team? They just traded
Portland.
Not Brogdon. Brogdon's out there too. So he has like
So where Portland?
Yeah, he has somebody. Yeah, he has somebody out there that can.
And they got Ayton too.
Yeah, and they got DeAndre Ayton. He has somebody there at least that can help him out a little bit, but that veteran influence and former six man. So, but I do think that Scoot Henderson has a great opportunity, so I'm going with him.
All right, Mo, who you got rookie of the year?
Hey man, listen. When I seen this, so this situation happened. I want to say with Blake Griffin. He got hurt his rookie year, and they counted him as a rookie next year. And he got rookie of the year. I'm gonna go.
That happened with Ben Simmons too, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Chet Holmgren, Oklahoma. I just think, man, his skill set. I think Oklahoma is a dangerous team. OKC is a dangerous team on the up climb. I think with him coming in, people don't have a lot of tape on him. I can see him taking it. I can see him being rookie year because they gave him that extra year. They count him as a rookie now because he was hurt.
Yeah. Mo, I like Chet Holmgren. I don't know. He's going to be the third option on this team, where I think Wembanyama and Scoot are going to have the ball in their hands more. If that makes sense, I just
I do. I just want to go outside the box. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's an easy pick for me.
Yeah, that's just easy.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's gonna come down to all three of those because now you can vote differently. But the way I seen Wembanyama play, I was like, damn, he's gonna get a lot of opportunity. He's the main person they're feeding. You know what I'm saying? Well, OKC, you got Giddey. Well, who'll get shots off Giddey though? So we'll see. I can see. I can see Scoot averaging 20. I can see Wembanyama averaging 20. Maybe I can see Chet averaging 20. Maybe. I can see him that. All right, cool. Mo, sixth man of the year.
So it depends on how they do the lineup. I know it's gonna sound weird what I'm about to say, but I'm basing this off the lineup I thought they're gonna run with. I'm gonna go Draymond Green.
Oh,
yeah. So I seen a lineup where I seen a lineup where they're going with Paul, Curry, Clay, Wiggins, and Looney. So that means Draymond first off the bench. So if they keep that consistent enough where he can qualify for it, I think Draymond will get sixth man of the year. Because I just look at it. He coming off the bench. You know, his assists. His assists. You know how he gonna flow through the offense. His defense. I think he can win it.
Craig.
I went with Malik Monk. I changed it from Norman Powell, but I don't know with their injuries. I know Powell didn't play. He didn't start a lot of games last year when Kawhi and PG were hurt last year, but I changed it to Malik Monk. Malik Monk, I thought had a really good series in the playoffs against Golden State. He shot the ball well. He was scoring off the bench, and I think he can lead that second team this coming season. I think he averaged almost career high last year, 13, 14 points, something like that. So I think he's due to have a solid season come up this year, and he's going to be come off the bench for the most part. So it's a lot of people out there that could be sixth man of the year, but I'm going with Monk.
I like that answer. I had I would probably go with Malik Monk too. I had Chris Paul, and then it kind of threw me for a loop with the announcement that he was starting. And you know, you can also look at Derek White too. I know it'll be a second year in a row a Boston player gets it. but that could be, he could be because he's not starting. Drew Holiday is, and Derek White is really good off the bench. Um, so I mean that's what I kind of lean towards. All right, defensive player of the year. I know. This might be. I don't know if this is a wild pick, but it's definitely. It's not a homer pick. I just think that it's time for the. It's time for this young man to just be consistent, and if he's consistent, and now they have him at the 4 instead of the 5. I'm going with Anthony Davis, man. I think he. I think he has something to prove this year. I think he's a good defensive player of the year candidate. I think he wants to knock that on his resume, but he has to be consistent. I think he will be consistent this year, and I think he gets a defensive player of the year award. Craig, your pick?
I got Bam Adebayo.
Okay.
The team is already predicated on defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he had a really good year last year, defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think it's his time to be the defensive player of the year. I think Jaren Jackson won it last year. He had a really good year.
Yeah.
But I think Bam is going to have a kind of a year like that, leading that defense between him and Jimmy. So I'm going with Bam.
All right, Mo, who you going with? Most?
Man,
not most. All defensive player of the year, NBA defensive player of the year.
I'm gonna go with Jaren Jackson. The reason I'm gonna
go with
I'm gonna go back to back, and the only reason I'm gonna go back to back is because what's gonna be asked for him with Ja Morant being out 25 games. I think what's gonna be asked defensively. I think that team's going to be defense leading the offense because you're losing a guy that's averaging. The average is about almost 30 points a game. So I think defensively you got to ramp it up. I think he's going to come out swinging because he knows the situation. The coaching staff, the organization is going to let him know, like, hey, this is what we got to be like. This is where we got to be at. So I think he's going to win back to back.
All right, Craig. Here's a very interesting one. I had to look up. I think I'm solidified with my answer with this one. But who do you have with NBA Coach of the Year?
I went with I don't know how to say his last name. The coach of the Thunder.
That's a popular. Yeah,
I don't really know how to say his. He has a bunch of young talent on that team.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of Chet Holmgren, but I can't disrespect his game when he gets out there on the court and he plays. I just didn't like him because he went to Gonzaga, but I think he's gonna have. He's healthy this year. I mean, he has kind of the same potential that Wembanyama has. He's a tall, skinny guy that can shoot threes, that can kind of get you down low a little bit, but he's fragile. So I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hold up. As we saw last season, he wasn't able to hold up, but I hope that he does just because I want to see him play. But I think they have a lot of young talent. Gillis is there. I can't remember how to say his name, but
Shai Gillis.
Yeah, whatever. They have a lot of good talent. So I think I got them in the playoffs this year. I don't really have them as a high seed, but I wouldn't be surprised if they end up finishing with like, I don't know, maybe like a 6 seed or something like that, if they can just maximize all that talent.
All right, Mo, who do you have for Coach of the Year?
James, I know it's going to get you out your seat. I know it's going to jump you out. You're going to be proud, man, what I'm about to say. And I'm going to give my reasons why. I'm going to say Darvin Ham. The reason I'm going to say it is because the moves in the offseason. What you added makes a whole lot of sense. They didn't go out and get anybody on some high price. It makes sense for what they want to be, for their improvements they need to make. Like everybody they brought in made sense on the improvements from why they lost in playoffs. So I think, like you said, if Anthony Davis can stay healthy, LeBron gonna come back for a reason. Like LeBron has nothing else to prove, and I truly believe, in my heart of hearts, I truly believe LeBron came back because he saw the improvements. I don't think he comes back if that team stays status quo. If they didn't make the improvements, I don't think he comes back. Especially what's going on with his son, all the stuff that happened with the son at USC, that's going to USC. I don't think he comes back, but I truly think the Lakers are going to make improvements. They finished 7th last year in the West. I truly see them finishing in the top 4 and making a run. So I think I'm gonna say Darvin Ham, coach of the year.
I like that. I did not pick them. I picked a different coach. I love that answer. We'll see my West predictions. We're gonna do our West predictions next week, so it'll be interesting. I think this is gonna probably let you know where I'm going with my next pick, but I think this team is going to come out and they're going to be really good. And I know that I'm picking them, and it's probably the reason I'm picking them is because what off-season moves they're going to make ahead of time before the season starts or early in the season. But I'm going Nick Nurse in Philadelphia. I think that they are really good. I think they're going to end up trading Harden, and I think that they're going to be better than they were last year. You know, and Mo, who do you have as the most improved player?
That's a tough one. That's tough. I'm trying to think. So many you can say there, man. So many you can say there. I'm gonna throw a wild card out there.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go Pritchard from Boston.
Oh,
I'm gonna go Pritchard from Boston.
Okay.
I think he's gonna get the opportunities. I think he's gonna be in the rotation. I liked him at Oregon. I liked him last year. He's been doing some good things in the preseason. So I'm gonna go to kid Pritchard from Oregon. I mean, he came out of Oregon, but I'm gonna go Pritchard from Boston.
All right, cool. Craig, who do you have as the most improved player?
I was gonna say Maxey. I think he's gonna have a really good year, especially if they get rid of Harden. But I changed it to Poole because I think
there we go. I like that pick.
That's not gonna have anybody else that can. I mean, they have some other players, obviously Kuzma and Jones, I think, but I mean, they don't have any other big time scorers, and he's already been known to score in bunches when he played with Golden State, so he's gonna have a lot of opportunities. I think he can average close to 30 points a game if he continues to play, because his minutes are going to go up, obviously. He's not coming off the bench anymore, so he's probably going to miss a bunch of threes and everything like that and take some bad shots, but I think he can average like 20, 28, 30 points if he puts in the work and makes some of his shots. So I got Poole.
All right, I have Tyrese Maxey, man. I saw this interview with I saw a snippet of him and JJ Redick. I think he's ready to take that next step. I think they get rid of Harden and give the keys to Maxey. That's why I have Nick Nurse as the coach of the year. I think they look better than they did last year, and he averaged 20. I think he averaged about 27 a game. He said he's been working on a lot of things this year. I think he's ready for the spotlight and take the reins to be a leader of the team. And it's going to be a great postseason. All right, Craig, last one. Who's your MVP?
I'm going with Giannis. I think Giannis is going to win it again. The Joker's a good pick. That'll be his 3rd in 4 years, but I'm going with Antetokounmpo. I think he's going to have a really good year. I think he has a lot to prove, especially after last year when he got hurt in the playoffs and then the team lost to the 8th seed, and there was talk about him not wanting to be there. Then they got the coach. Well, I ain't gonna say they got the coach right, but the coach is not there anymore, so they replace him, and now they went out and they got Dame. It's kind of reserved to pick this because he went out and got another superstar, but pretty much every team has at least 2 people on it for the most part. 2 minimum if you're a really good team.
Yeah.
So I just think he's gonna have a lot to prove this year, and I think he's gonna come out with a vengeance and try to take over the NBA, or at least take over for this season and win the MVP again.
All right. I got Luka Legend, MVP. I think this year he averages a triple double, and I think him and Kyrie with the off season together are gonna play good. They're gonna play good, man. I got Luka. He's always in the running anyway. So I think this year they finish maybe. Well, no, I think I said 6th. If they finish around 6th or 5th, they're gonna be good to go. He's gonna MVP. Mo, who you have for MVP?
I got Giannis. And Craig. I was like, damn, Craig said Giannis, but I had Giannis, and I think because Damian Lillard. I might have went a different route if Damian Lillard didn't go there, but I think Damian Lillard being there, and then if Middleton's healthy, it's just going to clear the lane, and it's going to make too many options, and it's going to be hard to stop them. And I think that's going to open up for Giannis, because you got to pick your poison now. Like, you want to stop Giannis, you want to let Dame get open. If Middleton and them get going, it's just going to be a lot of pieces to stop. And I'm gonna go with, and then you got Brook Lopez down low, so I'm gonna go Giannis MVP.
All right, before we move on to Mo's college football ranking, hey, shout out to Dre. He left a comment, and he said this. He said Anthony Richardson, as we all know, is out. He's out of the season. He's out of the new season because of shoulder surgery. So he's done. He's done for the rest of the season, guys. So he says Anthony Richardson needs to learn from Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts and be smart runner and avoid hits. Richardson is playing like a power runner like RG3. That's not good. He needs to change it up. Dre, I agree, man. What are your thoughts on that? Do y'all think that Anthony Richardson should?
He's not Cam Newton or I guess Josh Allen to a certain extent. He's not that type of built quarterback. So he needs to. You see what happened to RG3. You see what keeps happening to, like you said, Lamar. I mean, he can't finish out a season the last 2 seasons. So I think he has to be a little bit smarter. Because you never know what's going to happen. You never know how long you're going to be in the league. So see what happened to RG3 is a perfect example because he had a great rookie season, led the team to the playoffs, and the next season he just got hurt, and then that was it. Like, he just wasn't the same quarterback. So a lot of his skill set for Richardson comes from his legs because he's a runner and all that. So he has to protect himself a little bit better, slide if he needs to, get out of bounds if he needs to. There's no need to get fighting for extra yards. You have running backs that can do that. If you want to do, you have 2 good running backs. Now that Taylor's back, was before Taylor came back, he was the top 5 running back in terms of yards.
Yeah.
So he just has to be a little bit smarter. The coaches have to get in his ear. I'm pretty sure they have, but he just has to know to get down or get out of bounds and not take those extra hits. So I'm pulling for him, but I mean, so 6 games in, 5 games in, he's already done. He actually missed the game before that.
He missed the game before that for his injury.
So he's only really played like 3 games, but I mean, he has to just has to be smart. And that was, I think, a concern of mine anyway, because how lightning he was to run, but at the same time, he's not a big built Cam Newton type of quarterback. So,
yeah. Mo, what do you think? What do you think about Dre's comment?
I mean, I think it's a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. I always hate when the kid get injured. But the good part about this is and this is where a quarterback coach, other staff members come in. If, he ain't got to do nothing too much. I mean, he can come in, and this is where you got to sit him down and, watch the tape and figure out how to rework situations, how to better this situation moving forward. How he can better slide, how he can better avoid those hits. He was doing well, man. He played very, very well before things happened. So I know it's discouraging. I know, he got to improve on his game, but I definitely will come out and tell people they got something to build on. Now it's just you. What do you do with him while he's hurt? Like, what do you show him? How does he improve? How does he, how does he build upon the growth he was doing? But I do think they got to change the game for him. But if you look at it though, it wasn't like the coach. Look at how I was looking at it. The coach wasn't throwing him out there like a lot of design runs. If you look at when he got hurt, it was an option, but it wasn't like a design run. It was an option play. Like it was them using his skill set. Like you're going to run an option play, things going to happen. So it wasn't like it was a design run. It was an option play. Boom, he faked it. He kept it. So I just think, moving forward is just what we do moving forward.
Yeah, I think that Anthony Richardson is going to be okay. He's young. I think he's going to have shoulder surgery, and I heard he's already in the community. And that's what it's about. Franchise quarterback. I think he will address those issues. We have to mostly understand that he has to protect himself because it's not just him anymore. And I know college is just a little bit different. He played in the SEC, which I know everybody's like a mini NFL, but it's not. It's not close to it. I think the NFL is on record of being the best of the best of the best. And I think that NFL players have to be more cautious. And I agree, right, with Cam. But even Cam, injuries caught up to him. You just have to be careful running in the NFL. Even though quarterbacks are protected the most they are, the hits wear down in the NFL because they're so violent. And so hopefully,
hey Jay, that's a tough comment right there. Shout out to Dre, man. Love you comment on here. He said Lamar could have finished the season last year, but if he wanted to, Lamar played a lot of games in his career. But he said basically, and Dre, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I'm basically sensing that you're saying Lamar basically could have played, but he set out because of his contract issues.
Dre might be right. I don't want to speculate.
Yeah, I can't say that's wrong. I don't want to come out here and say something wrong, but I can't argue that point.
He might be right about that one.
He might be. I don't know. He might be right. He got paid. He got paid. So hopefully Lamar, yes, and Lamar's won 75% of his games. He doesn't get the respect. That's very hard for NFL quarterbacks to do. And once again, I have them going really far. All right, Mo. Boom. Lamar doesn't get the respect that he's won 75% of his games. That's really hard to do in the NFL.
Yeah, it is.
And besides this year, he doesn't get the respect. Not only is he unanimous MVP, it doesn't get talked about enough. Also, he wins 75% of his games. Now, he does have injury concerns the last 2 years. I get it. But he also put the team on his back, too. That he didn't have the weapons that most quarterbacks got. But then that's neither here nor there, but shout out Lamar. Mo, let's do your top 4 college football rankings.
All right. Let's start off here. Number 1, Georgia. I'm still gonna go Georgia. Until somebody beats them, I'm still gonna go Georgia. They did receive a tough blow. All-American tight end Brock Bowers hurt his ankle. He's gonna be out 4 to 6 weeks. I don't agree with the play call, knowing already that he was hurt. You're gonna run a tight end round, but that's there. Number 2, I'm gonna go Michigan. I mean, your schedule is what your schedule is, but they've dominated. I mean, they've dominated their competition, so I'm still gonna keep it 2. Ohio State is number 3. I'm going to. They got a very tough game. Noon on Fox. High noon versus Penn State. I'm gonna go on record. I think they're gonna lose. I think Penn State is gonna win. But it's going to be definitely a great atmosphere. I don't know, unless that quarterback comes out with a game of his life. I think Penn State has the tools this year to win. Number 4, I'm gonna go Florida State. They're in a tough game. Primetime ABC Saturday night. They're facing Duke, who's a very good team. Let's see. I'm not gonna make an early prediction on that one. I just think Florida State might have the better athletes. You can definitely see the recruiting of Mike Lovell. You can definitely see the belief in what they're doing. But outside looking in, I got Oklahoma. Shout out to Washington on their win versus Oregon. It's definitely gonna get interesting real quick. Just quick before we move on, quick thing. I get the comments of Mike Williams of the quarterback Caleb Williams' father about teams they want to go to. He should not go back next year. He should leave this year because what USC is doing defensively, you're wasting him. You're wasting his talent. I think he should come out. If he's gonna, if anything, pull an Eli. Let it be known, pull an Eli from 2004. But I don't think he should go back one more year with what's going on defensively. I feel like that's wasting him. USC has made no strides defensively. Like I heard some articles about him coming back next year. Like, no, I don't.
He's gonna come out because the draft order is, I think,
right now
Panthers, Chicago. So Chicago, Denver.
Right.
But I think that's going to change. Yeah. I think Denver. I think he might. Denver's bad, man.
Yeah, bad. I just think something they posted up. Like,
I would love to see him to go to the NFC though. Yeah. I like him to go to Chicago, but I don't think he stays. I don't think
so. So here's a little time. This is the we got 2 more weeks. This week, today's the 17th. 2 weeks from now, we'll have the first college football rankings. So the messed up part is we'll be going live. So what I might do is, mute and try to have it on so I can just update us live as we go. With the rankings, but the first college football rankings will be 2 weeks from today.
All right,
on Halloween night.
Halloween. All right, guys. I know you've seen the video. Craig, I know you've seen the video. Aaron Rodgers is throwing without a boot or crutches. Does he play this year? You think he'll be back?
No, I said a few weeks ago. There's no point because I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be in the position. I had the Jets at 3-3 with Aaron Rodgers. They're 3-3 without Aaron Rodgers at this point before the bye week. So now I thought maybe with Zach Wilson they probably would lose 4 games at least, but they ended up 3-3. Okay, cool. But I'm still not a believer in this team. The defense is really good. Garrett Wilson is really good. Breece Hall is good. They're wasting Dalvin Cook. And the offensive line is not that good. And I don't think Zach Wilson's that good. But Zach Wilson knows the offense. So, and I said before that I think they should have just stuck with Zach Wilson because you're going to have to bring somebody in off the street or at least trade for Kirk Cousins or whoever. But I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to play this year. I don't think it's going to be nothing to play for. Because I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And B, I think he's just not going to be 100% to go out there and play. I don't think he's going to be cleared by the team. And if he's not cleared by the team, or if he says he's ready to go, the team has nothing to play for. It's no point in throwing him out there to do what? To probably get hurt again? There's no point. Just go ahead and just come back next year healthy, go through the whole process again, and see what happens next year. I just don't see a point in him trying to do this off the wall, unorthodox type of rehab or unorthodox type of procedure that he had. Or I don't know what happened. I don't know, but I'm just not a believer. So
I think that I like it. I think that I always agree to somebody who's pushing back against the norm of what people think they are versus modern medicine. I like it. I just don't think it could happen. I think the quickest was Cam Akers, and that was at 6 months.
Well, he's also like 40, almost 40.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't like to discount anybody. I will wait and see. It's hard. It's it's difficult to call out because you don't want to rush that type of injury back because it's a serious injury. You don't want to re-aggravate it. So I will see. Mo, do you think Aaron Rodgers finishes out the year? Not finishes out. Make it back before the playoffs.
I don't think so, and I don't know. I don't even know if they made the playoffs because they got to go on a very mean run, and I got to look at the rest of their schedule. But
I'm about to tell you when you're done.
But I mean, just to be 3-3 at this point, I salute them. What I will say is, you can see the fact that, yeah, I'm not saying he's quality, but you can see that the Wilson's grown up a little bit. You can see he's more mature. You see he's taking more accountability. He's growing up a little bit more. You can see, some of the he's shitting on some of the mistakes he's made in the past. But here's my thing, right quick, and I'm gonna put it out here like this. I don't like them putting him on TV. I'm gonna compare what they did to what the Pelicans did. If he's not going to play, if he's not truly ready to play, why put him on national TV like that? It's almost like what the Pelicans did with Zion. You got him out there doing dribble drop steps with a practice coach and banging and doing 360 dunks, knowing he's not going to play the rest of the season. Like you taking away energy from the team. You put him out there, knowing people going to speculate, knowing it's the media, knowing we're going to speculate. We're doing it right now. We're going to speculate and be like, ooh, look at him. If you don't know 10 toes down that he's going to come back, I don't like putting him out there on prime. Okay, practice. Yeah, okay, practice field. Okay, it was practice. It was on grass. But on a game day, you got him on the field throwing. I don't agree with that. Knowing he's a national figure, knowing people's going to, it ain't like he a scrub on the street, a second team backup or a mid-level person. He's Aaron Rodgers. So we're going to make a story, a spectacle out of him throwing on the field before a game. So I just don't agree with that unless you 10 toes down, know he's coming back.
All right. So they're 3-3. Let's mark off what their record is going to be. I've got the remaining schedule. All right. They're 3-3. All right, we ready? All right, Craig. We got the Giants. Think that's a win?
That's a shame. Yeah, I do.
You think it's a win? I don't know.
It depends on Daniel Jones. If his health, I don't think Tyrod Taylor beats him.
Daniel Jones is a bad quarterback, but I'm not.
I mean, you think Tyrod Taylor beat him? I don't. I mean, Saquon had to have a well of a game.
I think they can beat the Giants.
All right, I think so too. So we're at 4-3. Jets versus Chargers.
The Chargers gonna need a win, so I think they're gonna lose.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless
it's gonna be tough because
offensively they're gonna score enough. Offensively, because
I got the Chargers. Yeah, I can see the Chargers. That's the problem, though. Can they score enough? So right now we got 4-4.
Right.
They got the Raiders.
There you go.
They can get that one?
Yeah, I think. I mean, the Raiders offense. I don't know if the Raiders offense is going to.
What you think, Craig? Yes.
I don't think they can get the.
I don't think so either, bro. The Raiders. Raiders is not no slouch.
I don't think so. The Raiders defense is better than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, and Jimmy G wins games.
Okay,
I mean, it's going to be probably the most more game.
I get that. We can go there. We go lost.
Lost to the Bills.
Lost to the Bills. So we got. Hold on a bit. 3-3. They beat the Giants.
4-6.
They're 4-4. Yep. So they're 4-6. Then they got the Dolphins.
Lost. Yeah, lost. Let's go.
Falcons. I think they could beat the Falcons.
Yeah, they beat Falcons. They beat Falcons.
Yeah. We got 5-7. Then they got the Texans. I don't know.
I didn't get them.
You think they can get the Texans? It'll be a close game.
It's at home, so I think they can get them. I think they can get them at home.
All right.
Ooh, that's gonna be tough.
I think both of them are going to be tough because Falcons and the Texans play well on defense.
Yeah, they're both. You're right. They're both going to be tough. And it's going to be at home. It's going to be cold. I think we should give the Jets a little bit. So we got 6 and 7.
Okay.
Then they got the Dolphins in Miami. December 17th.
It isn't a loss.
They got the Commanders on Christmas at home.
The Commanders.
I think the Commanders might get them, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be a good game.
It's definitely tough.
It's going to be a good game. I think the Commanders can get them too, but it's going to be a good game. They're at 6 and 9. Then they got the Browns. They're losing that.
Yeah,
they're losing that.
Yeah, they're 6-10.
They're 6 and 10, and then they got the Patriots.
They might get
them. Win that one. Nah, they win that one.
They 7 and 10. I mean,
they 7
and 10. I just don't see it. I don't see them. That's not a playoff team to me.
No.
By the time you get to Bali about the last 3 games of the season, if they not sitting at like,
there's no point.
7 and 7.
Yeah, if they're 7 and 7,
or maybe like
8 and 7,
and Aaron Rodgers is 80%. Then I can understand probably having a chance to bring him out there if he's looking that good and he's ready to go. And they're 500 or maybe a game. They can't be a game under. They got to be 7 and 7 or maybe
have to be. They have to be above 500 and 500. And here's the thing.
And then I think you got those 3 games. I think they can win at least 2. But Aaron Rodgers, I think they can, especially If
Aaron Rodgers comes back,
10 and 7. Huh?
I wouldn't bring him against the Browns. I would not bring Aaron Rodgers against the Browns.
I would bring him in against if he's ready to go against the Texans, cool. But if he's not, then that's not going to happen. I wouldn't. I mean, the Dolphins, their defense is not like aggressive, but they have a really good offense. So if you want to bring him back against them, it could probably be a shootout. Commanders have a good front four. Browns have the best defense in the NFL right now, and the Patriots have a solid defense.
Yeah.
So but also by that time the Dolphins played them, Ramsey will be back.
Yep. Yeah. So he's already ahead of schedule too. And Craig, we got question marks. They might lose to the Jets and the Texans. We don't know. It's a toss-up.
Besides the Giants and the Chargers, they really every team after that has got a solid defense.
Solid defense.
So
solid.
I don't know about that one, but
I don't know.
And even the Chargers showed up Monday against the Cowboys. So the defense played a lot better than I thought.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
All right.
It's unpredictable, but
guys, there's no more undefeated NFL teams. They both lost, which is I knew one was going to because I picked it, but the Eagles losing to the Jets was pretty crazy. Mo, what are your thoughts on that? Are the Eagles bad?
I mean, you get those.
Jets aren't a good team. We just established that.
You get those. You get those losses. I mean, the Jets got solid defense. I mean, Eagles didn't run the ball as well as they normally do to set up everything else. Jalen Hurts turned the ball over. When you turn the ball over, what? I think Jalen Hurts threw 3 picks. I think in total they turned the ball over 4 times. I think.
Yeah,
you're going to lose.
Jalen Hurts has a lot of turnovers this year.
You're going to lose. What people don't realize is the Jets invested a lot in that defense, and you can see now that defense is balling out and regaining form because they believe in the fact that if they still ball out, Daniel Hatchett and that offense is going to give them enough to win right now. Yes, they have to score more points, but they feel like, okay, we ball out, we're not getting wasted no more. Like we still have a shot now because the offense is matured a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So and then you got Breece Hall who's running like we thought he was running coming out of Iowa State. So it's we gotta look at this as look at outside in because it's you gotta look at it because it was Wilson out there. It's a bad loss. It looks like a bad loss, but if Rodgers was out there, everybody be like, "Oh, good win, Jets." Now everybody looking like it's a bad loss for the Eagles only because of the quarterback play. But at the end of the day, everybody puts everything around one player. It's other players. The Jets got solid players that they drafted and put money into that are balling, that are making plays. So I do think I think the Eagles look a little different than they did last year. Of course, we lose both coordinators. You're gonna look a little different. They're banged up too. But I would put them just more on a good win by the Eagles than the Jets. That would put on a bad loss by the Eagles. That's just me.
All right, Craig, what do you think, man?
I think
we established the Jets are bad.
The Jets aren't a great team, at least not without. I mean, if they had Aaron Rodgers, then yeah, they'd be a great team. But the Jets beat the Bills earlier. They beat the Bills last year with Zach Wilson. The Cardinals beat the Cowboys. Like, it just happens. It's NFL. It's football. Like, you're going to see some teams that you think should easily win, and the Commanders and the Bears, another example. Like, teams that should easily win, and then they end up losing games. So it just happens, man. It's sports. It's football. That's why we like sports, because I mean, sometimes you just get underdogs that beat teams that they shouldn't beat, and this is just one of the cases. They have Eagles had a lot of opportunities. First two interceptions were kind of fluky type things, but the last one was definitely on Hurts. He threw the ball. I mean, the pressure kind of got to him, but that was a bad pass. It was a bad read, but he's been struggling this year with interceptions. The team's defense hasn't been the same for the most part. Doesn't look the same. Doesn't look as good. Offense doesn't look as crisp either. Even though they have Swift, who's coming in there and he's giving them running back help since Sanders left. I thought the wide receivers were okay, and then they go out and signed Julio Jones for whatever reason. But you know, you gotta give credit to the Jets. I mean, the Jets are they still play football too, so it just happens, man. It's just one of those games. I'm not gonna. Maybe by the end of the season, you look back at this loss and be like, this was a turning point for the Eagles, or this was just like something they had to overcome and just get out of the system. So it's just football, man, at this point.
I was the same with you guys, and then I came to my realization, like, the Eagles they lost both their coordinators. They just lost the Super Bowl, and they're still 5-1. So I think the leadership of Jalen Hurts and the team are going to respond well after this loss. I think this is kind of like a Dallas and Cardinals. It's a gut punch, and the Eagles could have won. It's a gut punch. It's like, okay, guys, let's slow it down. Let's get it together, because the Eagles' schedule starts to get a little hard, but they're 5-1. So their schedule gets a little hard, but because of Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Jason Kelsey, not Travis, like, they just have Darius Slay. They have the veterans that's been there. AJ Brown, Devontae, like, this team is good. I think they're going to bounce back. I think you guys are right. It happens because we now know the Jets are a horrible team. Boom. I'm going to start off with this one because I did predict this. And I don't know, guys. The 49ers lost to the Browns. Are we ready to believe in the Browns? I believe in that defense. And if Deshaun Watson plays decent, they're probably going to go to the playoffs, man. I'm going to be honest with you, man. It looks like it's going to be 3 teams out the North. That's what it looks like. I think that it could be. Well, you got Buffalo, Miami, right? Yeah. So you got. So let's say Miami wins the division, or Buffalo, right? Let's say Buffalo wins the division. Then let's say the Ravens win the North. Let's say the Jags win the South, and let's say the Chiefs win the West. Let's say Miami wins the other wild card. There's 2 more wild card spots, and it looks like it's either the Bengals, the Browns, or it could be the Ravens and the Browns, or it could be the Steelers and the Bengals and the Ravens. Like, I'm just excited. I think it could be 3 teams, which I did not see. Well, everybody saw the South. I get that. I thought the Chargers were gonna be a little bit better this year, but I didn't pick them to go to the playoffs. I thought they were gonna prove me wrong, but no. At this point, the Raiders have a better record than them, and the Raiders. I hate to say it, I don't know what's going on with the Chargers. It's probably coaching, but anyway, I think the Browns are for real. I think they're for real, man. I think it's one of those teams we didn't see last year, like Seattle, and that's what I love about the NFL. Mo, the 49ers lost to the Browns. Are you ready to believe in the Browns?
Yes. Right now, currently after 6 games, 3 teams are in the AFC playoffs, and one of them not the Bengals. The Ravens right now to win the division. The Steelers will be in right now, and so will the Browns. Defense wins, and then to win a game at San Francisco, without Deshaun Watson, defense played well, kept fighting. I think it only builds confidence. I believe in them, man. I think the defense sells. Chubb hurts, but I think now bringing back the running back they brought back, and then the other pieces, I think they can. I think they can make some noise. And what people don't realize is they're one of the teams that have modeled what I like. They built through the draft. Yes, you bring in free agency, but a lot of the pieces that are doing the damage for them, they drafted. You talk about Denzel Ward. You talk about Myles Garrett. You talk about Newsom. You talk about Dupit. A lot of their pieces, they drafted them. I like that. So I think they're for real. I'm not saying they'll win a playoff game, but I right now, I would say I wouldn't be surprised right now if they make the playoffs.
All right. Craig. Are you ready?
I did pick when we did our things where we could swap out a team and add a new team, whatever.
You did pick the Browns.
I did swap out the Jets and put the Browns in.
Yeah.
So I'm really not surprised. I think that was before Chubb went down, though, so I kind of have my reservations about the team going forward. But their defenses, I mean, I thought they were I was ready for them to crumble a little bit, but their defense is playing excellent. I mean, their best defense in football right now in terms of yards per game. They won a game at home against what I thought was the best team, what I still think is the best team in football, and the 49ers without Deshaun Watson. So, I mean, you got to give the team some credit, man. I mean, they're still going out there just like the Jets and some of these other teams that are not as good, like the Cardinals. They're still going out there and competing. And even though they didn't have their star player, they still went out there and they played hard. And they went out there and they beat a team that a lot of people thought, including myself, didn't think they was going to win. So, especially without Deshaun back there. But give them credit, man. They played hard and they got the win. So I'm still sticking with the Browns to go to the playoffs still. I think they'll probably finish at this point 6th or 7th. Like Mo said, they might not win a playoff game. But to go from how the season was last year and people were writing off Deshaun and writing off the team, and the little games that he did play, he didn't look good at all for the most part. And now come full circle and they do it without Nick Chubb. I think, especially if they make the playoffs, I think you got to give him a lot of credit to Stefanski, because I think I started writing him off as well. But and I think he was on a hot seat, or kind of on that. He was getting hot. It was getting warm for him, but you got to give him credit, man. So the Browns did their thing.
Man, it's I ain't gonna lie, I didn't expect this. This is a surprise. The NFL, man. Craig, what are your thoughts on the Chargers Cowboys game Monday night?
I didn't really watch a lot of it. I fell asleep, so I was tired. But
I get it, man. I ain't gonna lie. It lasted late.
the game was a lot more boring than I thought it was going to be. I'm just not a defensive guy. I don't like low scoring games, but I get it, man. It's football. Sometimes you get those, especially in the playoffs. But I just thought this game was going to be a high scoring game. I thought both defenses were really, especially the Chargers, really susceptible to giving up a lot of yards and a lot of points. You look at, and then Dallas's defense would, they would get a short field. They would get turnovers and turn it into scores with a short field. Dallas offense still hasn't done anything for the most part. They haven't wowed me or haven't captured me, anything like that yet. So I'm still waiting for their offense to show up. The Chargers, I get that Justin Herbert is still he has the injury on his non-throwing hand, so that's going to be around. But it's on his non-throwing hand, so I kind of expected him to play a lot better, even though he was playing against a talented defense.
Yeah,
and they just had they had chances, and they just the Chargers, man, I don't even know if I'm trying to compare it to like an NBA team that's really talented and they look like they have it all on paper, and then it just maybe like the Nets or something like that.
Clippers.
Possibly. Like they have all this talent and they just can't do anything in the playoffs, or they can't do anything in the regular season to get to the playoffs. Somehow they end up screwing it up, whether it's the players, whether it's the coaches, or whatever the case may be. And I mean, Staley needs to. I thought he should have went last year. They should have got rid of him. Should have came in here this season with all this talent and an offensive-minded, better coach, and that hasn't happened. I don't know what they're waiting for. Maybe it's going to take a loss to the Chiefs next week, possibly. But I still don't even think that's going to be enough. They might just wait to the end of the season at this point. But I mean, I think they're just wasting a lot of talent on that team. Keenan Allen, he struggled earlier, or not struggled. He couldn't get him the ball. Like there was a wide open pass Justin Herbert had to Keenan Allen, I believe, and he just missed it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know what's going on with Dallas. But it was a big win for Dallas because if they lost that game, they'd went to 3-3. And but at the same time, it's a big loss for the Chargers because now they're 2-3, and now they got to go to Kansas City. And I know Herbert plays well in Kansas City, or he's played well. But man, I'm just that's tough. I mean, they could end up going right down to 2-4. It's tough, man. I did pick the Chargers to win that game though, but man, the Chargers have so much talent, and it's just getting wasted. So,
Mo, what are your thoughts, Mo, on the Cowboys and Chargers game?
I mean, tough battle. Both teams need it. Both teams kind of need it with what they're battling against, what their expectations are. Guys made plays when they need to. Michael Parsons was non-existent up to when they needed him most, and then Gilmore came up with a big pick. You've seen early that they were trying to get the ball to the people they need to get the ball to. They got the ball to CeeDee Lamb. They started to try to get the ball to Cooks. They even added Pollard into the pass game a little bit more. So I think moving forward though, Dallas just needs to that 20 points ain't gonna cut it. Right now, the good win by Dallas, but I really would I would come out right now and say they're the fourth best team in the NFC. Right now I would put Detroit above them. And I think right now when I say that, I say neutral site. It's hard to say, if they was at home and all that stuff. I look at it, if they was neutral site right now, who will win? Right now, I don't, with Dallas offense struggling like it is, Detroit defense coming along, I don't know if Dallas would beat Detroit on a neutral site right now. How Detroit's playing offensively. So I mean, it was a good win. I like the win. But let's see what Dallas does moving forward with it.
Yeah, this is very interesting because I think the coordinators, I think the head coach on the Chargers team is not good, and I think the coordinator on Dallas is not good. I think that I know Dak threw the most interceptions he did last year, but I like Kellen Moore. I'm surprised they got rid of him. I think that Kellen Moore was a good offensive coordinator for Dak. They're having a lot of red zone issues, and that's going to come back to bite them if they're fighting for a playoff spot or to get in the playoffs. They have to fix those issues. The Chargers defense is horrible, but they only scored 20 points. That's concerning. The Chargers were in it the whole game. And shout out to I was watching the Chargers. Listen, guys, they messed up. They messed up. Everybody told them to hire an offensive-minded head coach. Brian Daboll was out there. It now come to find out he was too expensive. And now they're paying for it because you have wasted Justin Herbert's rookie contract. Here's why. Nick Wright made a good point. Shout out Nick Wright first things first. He said that, and I just looked it up. So Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady are only quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl not on a rookie deal. I think the last 8 years. Maybe Nick Foles, I think. And Matthew Stafford. That's not good. A lot of quarterbacks get to Super Bowl on rookie deals or team-friendly deals. When they get their max contract, Patrick Mahomes is the only person that made it, and of course, Tom Brady, right? So Justin Herbert deal kicks in 2025. So because when you start paying the quarterbacks, your cap starts to. They have to show who they are because teams got to start cutting. You're not gonna have the 3 good receivers that you had. You're gonna have 1, and we gotta draft a rookie because you're getting paid $40 million a year. So you gotta make it happen. So that's very interesting. Unfortunately, the Chargers kind of wasted his first 3 years for him to develop by hiring a defensive head coach.
And what's crazy is the defense sucks.
Sucks. I talk about this all the time.
At least if you're going to be a defensive-minded coach and you're going to be there with a young quarterback or young, really good quarterback, at least have the defense be top 10 or something. Their defense is horrible. So, I mean, they did play great yesterday for the most part, but you got to have something. And he's just not that. He's just not it, man. They need to get rid of that coach. He sucks.
He sucks. Because of the defense, and I said this all the time. I said it's a red flag when the defense side of the ball sucks. Like, listen, you can say what you want. The Patriots defense isn't as bad as a lot of people think it is, right? But look at Tampa Bay. Look at the Saints. Great example. Is Dennis Allen a good head coach? I don't know. But the defense is playing well. Same with Todd Bowles. Same with Pittsburgh. Like, if you're a head coach, that side of the ball should not be worried about. That's it. That's a real thing, man. So this is going to be very interesting. All right, guys. Now this is a new topic we were just talking about. We're gonna take a vote of who are the top 5 NFL teams that are 5-1, because there's only 5 NFL teams that are 5-1. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say the team, and we're gonna put them in order. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. This is going to be interesting. All right. So, right now, who is the best team in the NFL? Who's number 1 out of these 5-1 teams?
I still got the 49ers.
I would agree. I'd say 49ers.
I would say 49ers. All right, 49ers number 1. Who's number 2?
I'm going Dolphins. As of right now, I mean,
I said the Eagles.
I like the Chiefs number 3.
I thought it was at number 2.
I mean number 2. I like Chiefs number 2. Miami Eagles. We might have to get the nod to Miami Mo because they're playing better than both of them.
I get it, but the only team you played, and I gotta look at the schedule, I might be saying this wrong. The only team you played playoff worthy, you got playoff worthy, you got hit.
I mean, but if you look about it, who have the Eagles played though?
That's fair, but I think, at the same token, I mean, you might. Let me say this though: fully healthy on a new. And when I say this, when you combine them two, fully healthy on a neutral field, I will pick Philly against Miami right now.
Well, we'll see next week. We'll see this week.
Yeah,
that's it.
Next week. Is it next week?
No, is this week coming? Well, it's Sunday.
It's Monday night. I think it's Monday night. Sunday night. I think it's Sunday night. Matter of fact.
I think it's Sunday night.
Yeah, I think it's a Sunday night game.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not mad at either one. I'm not mad at either one. I just think neutral site with both teams fully healthy. I would take Philly right now in a neutral site game with both teams fully healthy.
All right, because it would be.
It's in Philly.
Yep, it's in Philly.
Both teams. I mean, the Dolphins.
I do have it on there.
At least one. Well, they had one tough game. They lost it, obviously.
We're gonna see. This is gonna be a tough test for them, man.
But the Eagles' schedule starts to get a little tough. All these
games. It gets tough, Mo. No. I might have to agree with him on Miami. Because
even the Commanders game's gonna be tough. I mean, they got the next 1, 2, 3, 4. The next 8 games are gonna be tough.
They got a tough schedule. They might have the. I think the Bengals have the toughest after the bye. The Eagles are up there. The Eagles are up there.
Tough.
They got tough.
The Bengals got the gauntlet. The Bengals got Lord.
Bengals. I think it's Bengals, then it's the Eagles because the
Eagles end the season easy, but the next 8 games it's going to tell a lot about this team and how what they're going to be able to do.
Yeah, because the Eagles' next 8 games are.
That's a gauntlet. If you it's a gauntlet.
Let me see.
That's tough.
Yeah, let's see. Because the Eagles' next 8 games are. Man, I can never get to the schedule quick enough.
The Dolphins.
Go ahead.
At home against the Dolphins, then they at the Commanders versus the Cowboys at home, at the Chiefs, home to the Bills, home to the Niners, at the Cowboys, and then at the Seahawks.
Yeah, and then they do finish nice though.
Yeah, they finish easy.
That's a tough one.
But I mean, those 8 games are just going to be
ridiculous. I think those 8 games, and then
I haven't seen the Bengals.
I think. I'm about to show you the Bengals. The Bengals joint is crazy. The Bengals joint is crazy. So the Bengals right now, they have a bye. You ready for these teams? They have San Francisco, Buffalo, the Texans. Not an easy win, but okay. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, the Colts. Maybe. Minnesota easy. Then you got Pittsburgh, which is never easy, divisional. Kansas City, then Cleveland. That's tough to end this. That's tough.
They got some easy games in there too. It's like
they got some easy. They got
at least they got them in the middle of the schedule. The Eagles
got them in the middle. The Eagles.
They're gonna have to do something to figure out how to go more than 4-4.
Yeah, they're gonna
before
have.
They end up the season with. I think they can win all 3 of those games to end the season. But
yeah, I think so too. They'll be.
If they can just get through these next 8.
They got to. They got to be 4-4 in that 8. because then that'll leave them at 9 wins.
I think they got to be.
They can finish up with 12.
They need to be better than that. I don't know. That's gonna be tough.
I don't know. If they're 4-4, I think they'll be all right because that'll be 9. Then they'll finish off with 12. They'll finish off 12-5.
Yeah.
But they gotta do 4-4 though. That's a gauntlet.
Yeah.
That's a gauntlet. So we got 49ers. I think we should do the Dolphins. All right, so here's number 3. Who's your number 3 team, Craig?
The Lions.
The Lions, bro. The Lions they beat some good teams.
I just like how they're playing at this point. Like I didn't really give them 5-1 at this point. I'm not saying they can go out and beat the Chiefs. Well, they already beat them. I'm not saying
They
they
beat the Chiefs
some
at
of the
home.
other teams, possibly on like a neutral field or nothing like that. But I think the way that they're playing right now on both sides,
They beat a lot of teams over 500.
see, I would like to see what is going to happen this week. Obviously against Baltimore, and also with Montgomery, I'm not sure if he's going to be there. And Gibbs is still hurt. Hopefully, he'll be back.
Yeah, both. Yeah.
Jared Goff is playing he's playing great, I think. So
phenomenal, man.
I want to see what's going to happen. This is a big game this week, so it's going to tell me a lot about where I think this team is. But I can put him at 5, but I got him at 3.
Mo, do you agree with that?
Hold up though, because we still said Philly, San Fran, right?
And the Chiefs. We got to put the Chiefs
at 3. I can't put. All right, listen. I don't like when I'm seeing offensively put the Chiefs at 3. I understand it's Mahomes, but I think this might be the one year it catches up to them. You don't have the receivers. You can't think you're going to keep going off of just Kelsey in a run game. You got to have receivers that's going to make. I think somebody's going to create a game plan that's going to expose that you don't have no receivers making plays. I mean, I think the dude, I think SMU Rice, he's coming along, but I right now, I always see stuff when everybody's 5-1. I always compare stuff on a neutral field. Right now on a neutral field, I don't know if Kansas City right now beats Detroit, Philly, or San Francisco, or even Miami right now. Fully healthy on a neutral field, I don't know.
We're gonna see Miami. We're gonna see Miami when they're in London.
Yeah, I just don't know right now. Everybody, both teams healthy. I don't know. Not with the receivers can't make plays. I don't know. I understand Mahomes can supersede stuff, but right now how Miami's playing, how those other teams playing, I might put Kansas City 4th, almost 5th. I might put them 5th.
I would do 4th. I would do Eagles 5th, bro.
No, I can't. No, I don't think they beat the Eagles right now.
I think
I'm talking neutral field when everybody the same record.
Chiefs should beat the Eagles. I think
on neutral field, both teams fully healthy right now. I don't think so.
I think that Eagles defense. I think that Eagles defense is. Kansas City
I'm talking fully healthy though. I'm saying fully healthy with Jalen.
Fully healthy. Kansas City, top 10 defense.
No sir.
Mo, you gotta be honest with yourself. Eagles are struggling offensively.
I get it, but what I'm saying
struggling defensively.
But what I'm saying is
defensively.
James, I get what you're saying, James. But what I'm saying is with those receivers with Philly's defensive front, which is going to allow more time for the corners to press and play, and the receivers not playing like this, Eagles are not going to allow Travis Kelce beat them by himself. They're not going to allow.
They did the
not this team fully healthy. Not this.
They did the Super Bowl.
Oh my God! I'm talking right now, James. You live in the past.
They go do it right now. It's Travis Kelce.
Right. I got you. Okay.
It's like, we're gonna
that's
stop
my
Tyreek
opinion.
Hill.
I mean, I get
That's
it.
not
I get
happening.
You. I just, okay.
The problem now, Mo, is that
right now you say
now is their defense and offense. Philly's not. They're not looking like a good team.
So right now you put Philly 5th in the NFL as far as 5-1 teams.
Yes, hands down. Yeah, they scared. They should have won last night.
I wouldn't say hands down because I don't think Detroit beats them right now.
I mean,
unless you would say fully healthy, not with both backs out. They ain't beating Philly with both backs out.
I think if Lions are fully healthy, I think they
fully healthy, baby. But I get you. Okay.
I think they beat Philly right now. Not fully healthy.
Not with both backs out. No, sir.
Yes.
No, sir. Lions are not beating Philly just off Jared Goff with both backs out. They want that balance. They're not being Philly. No,
yes,
sir. Lions
they
will not
are.
be Philly with both back. No,
Yes.
sir. No, sir. No, sir.
That would be a major upset
on a
alert.
neutral site. On a neutral site, they not beat Philly with both backs
yes,
out.
They're punishing
No,
Philly.
sir. No,
They're
sir.
beating Philly. They're beating Philly 31-20.
With both backs out. Well, hold up, by double digits. Oh,
yes, yes. Yes, their defense is good.
Hold up, that means Hurts must turn the ball over. That means Hurts must turn the ball over at least 2 times.
He had the most interceptions he's ever had in his career.
That's
he had 7.
That's it.
And he lost fumbles. These are facts. I'm just saying, bro. I don't know, Craig. Who you got in the neutral field? Lions versus Eagles.
If both teams are 100% healthy, give me the Eagles. But if they not, and the teams
right now, they're playing in London. They on who you got?
Give me the.
You picking the Lions?
Probably.
Right now, bro.
I mean, they got to have a running back though. They got to have either Gibbs. They got to have Montgomery. If either one of those is there, I can't take it because I don't think they're going to be able to. There's nobody else to run the ball at this point. You're not going to be able to move the ball at all because who do they have?
Not going to let you run on them. Philly not going to let you run on them. And you're not going to sit there with golf and just think you're going to just straight drop back pass 35 times with the Eagles with no play action. It's not going to happen.
I don't know if Philly's not going to let you run on them when they don't have a good defense.
Craig Reynolds, 10 carries, 15 yards.
Eagles don't have a good defense, Mo.
So you think Craig Reynolds going? You think Craig Reynolds will come in Thursday back and run on Philly?
Eagles ain't horrible.
If he couldn't run on Tampa, hold up. If he couldn't run on Tampa, you think he gonna come and run on Eagles, who are just good up front seven?
Yeah, I don't think they have a good defense. I think Tampa's defense is better than Philly, way better.
Whoa!
I don't think Philly has a good defense.
Eagles are top 10. They're still a top 10 defense though. I mean, but actually, let me double check because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're like ninth. They're like ninth. Yeah. And they're not horrible. They're not the same team that they were last year defensively.
Yeah, not the same team.
They're not.
Listen, I get that, but what I'm saying is, hold up. So Craig, would you say? Hold up, Craig. Would you say that back hat? 10 carries for 15 yards?
Yeah, like 10 carries for like 18 yards.
Man, they ain't gonna cut no mustard against Philly because then that means you can't do play action. That means you going against that defense. You gonna think Jared Goff gonna drop back? You think Jared Goff gonna drop back there or 35 times and just slinging around the ball against Philly? No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Not against that pass rush. No, sir. Ain't gonna happen, Cap.
I mean, but then again, if you look at what they did against
the Lions to win,
what they did against the Jets, they kind of held the. Well, I mean, they gave up 89 total yards, but they gave up 39 to Breece Hall. Not horrible. They still lost, but I mean, I don't know, man. I would probably go. If Montgomery's healthy, I would go with the Lions. If he's not healthy, I got to go with the Eagles because I think they need somebody to run the ball. And
10 carries, 50 yards is ain't gonna cut the mustard against Philly.
That's not it.
I think you give Philly.
Let me say this.
Too much credit because if they don't get through this gauntlet 4-4, they're gonna be hurting.
I go hard to say this right now. I go as far as say this. If they played right now against Philly, I don't care if it's home, away, neutral, and they beat Philly with a back guy 10 carries for 15 yards, go deliver that MVP trophy to Jared Goff right now. Give it to him. I don't care what anybody else does. You better go hand that thing to him. I'm talking about go ahead and have the presentation today. Ain't no way they beat Philly with a back guy 10 carries for 15 yards as Jared Goff blow the stat line up. Jared Goff wanted to go out there and play the game in his whole career. It's no way.
Jared Goff's been in the Super Bowl.
I get it. I like Jared Goff, but what I'm saying is he's going to have that type of game. If you want to say, if you want to talk about beating Philly with a back 10 carries for 15 yards against Philly, and you think they're gonna win a game, that means Jared Goff playing at MVP level. He will have an MVP type of game, which he's been having. They showed the stat line over the last 17 games. Oh my goodness, Lord have mercy. They showed him over the last 17 games. He got over 4,400 yards passing. I think 29 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Who, Jared Goff?
Yeah, that's a sheesh.
He's balling.
That's all right. I said
he's balling, man. All right, so now we go to my segment. Is it time to press the panic button? or nah. And last week I did a rant of all the teams that are gonna be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes, and none of them let me down last week. None of them. But is it time to panic or nah for the Titans? I think the Titans have to draft a quarterback next year, man. I think Tannehill, the injuries have caught up to him. He'll be a free agent. I think Tannehill's a decent. I think he's a decent quarterback, but he gets hurt. And losing AJ Brown has hurt them. They should have never traded him. They should have paid him. You have to have a number one receiver in today's NFL. Unfortunately, the Titans
is
are
dude hurt?
panicking.
Is that the one? Is that the one draft pick from 2 years ago hurt, or he just not playing, or he's not even on the field?
Who? Tennessee?
Dude, Burks from Arkansas.
He's hurt, man.
I think he's hurt.
He's hurt.
He's hurt, right?
Oh, okay. He hurt again. Okay,
he's hurt, and it's annoying.
Yeah, Treylon Burks he's hurt. I think, and then Will Levis is carrying around a clipboard. But I mean, he likes.
I mean, you can tell Malik Willis has made better strides, but that offensive line once him coming in that situation, you couldn't run the ball, you were down. Man, he was running for his life. Like he was trying to get about it.
I mean, it's I think Tennessee's in panic mode. Panic mode for the Falcons. And the reason I say panic mode for the Falcons is because their quarterback is not good. Their defense is great. They have a good receiver. I don't know what the coaching staff is not using Kyle Pitts. I don't understand it. You have Drake London and Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, and the offense looks like it's sputtered. So I got to put that on the head coach and the quarterback. So it's panic mode time in Atlanta, and they are who we thought they were. They're not good. Not good. Panic meter for the Saints. I think that I think Derek Carr, and I like Derek Carr, but he is a below average quarterback, I think. Now his stats are wonderful. Right? I mean, if you go by just the stats, you would say, well, of course, it looks like he's playing good, right? But he's not. He's 16th in the league. He's at 65%. He's throwing 1,200 yards. His average is 6.5. That was the same problem in Vegas. He's only at 216 yards a game. He has 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. I don't know if you move on from him, but you can't because you paid him. And listen, we all get duped because I thought it was a great signing, but they keep losing these teams. They keep losing the teams with losing records. And that's not going to be good for them. So they're going to have some decisions to make. I'm assuming they're going to bring in a new coach. But to be 3-3 in that division with Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas, I believed in them, but I shouldn't have. The panic meter. And I already talked about the Giants, the Chargers, my last one. Craig said it exactly the best analogy I've heard in a while. The Chargers or the LA Clippers. The LA Chargers or the LA Clippers. where it has a superstar potential. You're supposed to be challenging Patrick Mahomes. Y'all supposed to make a Super Bowl appearance. You're supposed to make multiple playoffs appearance, and instead you underachieve, and you guys are losers. You guys are losers, man. And now Justin Herbert has one more year left on his rookie contract. One more, and then you're gonna have to let veterans go because you know how that is, man. You're paying a quarterback. Your team's gonna look like Kansas City. Okay, when you're paying your quarterback, your team is gonna look like the Giants. Well, we can't afford any wideouts. We gotta draft all rookies. You get a good tight end and a good running back, and that's it. You don't get Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and no, we got to pay you. So it's panic mode, man, and sometimes you make the wrong choice and it bites you in the butt. And I'm not saying the Chargers Super Bowl window is closed, but it gets difficult when the quarterback is not on his rookie deal. San Francisco has 2 more years with Brock Purdy. I was telling my friends today, he was like, I love Sam Howell. I said, pump your brakes. I give quarterbacks 2 to 3 years. And then I told him, he was like, we don't have to pay him. I said, we have to pay him. If he's starting quarterback next year, that next following year, we're gonna have to have a conversation of extending him, because you're not gonna wait the final year of his contract. You're gonna have to extend him. That's what they did with Jalen Hurts. The contract is not going to kick in probably till, if he's the starter, 2026, but you're going to have to sign him to a long-term deal. This is how the NFL works, right? So are you going to franchise tag him? So I know. Just pump your brakes on the quarterbacks a little bit, and pump brakes on because San Francisco doesn't make it this year, they have 2 more years. Their Super Bowl window's open 2 more years. And then if they win all these games in 2 more years and don't get a Super Bowl, they have to pay Brock Purdy if he's a starting quarterback. They're gonna have to. That is what it is. The rules of the NFL. Right? So we'll see. We'll see. All right, Craig. That's your top 5 list, man.
Okay, so we're a third of the way through the season. So I decided to do my top 5 surprises so far. Things that I'm surprised about that I didn't maybe see coming at this point in time. So number 5, I'm starting out. We talked about this earlier a little bit, or I think James touched on a little bit. No undefeated teams left. Mm-hmm. Last year, the Eagles were undefeated until week 8. 2021, the Cardinals till week 7. In 2020, you had the Steelers until week 11. In 19, you had the 49ers and the Patriots until week 8. And in 2018, you had the Rams until week 8. So you got to go back to 2017 to find a team that lost in week 5, or this is week 6, and that lost before, I guess, week 7 at this point. So I thought the 49ers had a chance not to go undefeated, but at least to get to maybe like 8-0 before they had a tougher game that I thought was going to come up. Because the Cleveland Browns didn't have a quarterback, so I really didn't give them a chance. I knew the defense was really good, but it happens, man. So now we have 5 teams like we just talked about at 5-1. So there you go. This really irritates me, but number 4, I got the Panthers, the only winless team in the NFL. I just didn't see this coming at all.
No, it's shocking.
I had them at least at 7-10, maybe.
I had them at 8-9.
8-9 if possible, because I thought the schedule was easier, even though they had some teams like the Dolphins on it, the Lions are on it, teams like that. But for the most part, I mean, they haven't really played any team from the NFC South yet. But maybe with those teams coming up, because you got the Texans coming up in week 8 after their bye week, and then the Colts. So they got 2 young quarterbacks, or the Colts don't even have Anthony Richardson. So
Gardner Minshew, baby.
Gardner Minshew. So who knows how that's going to happen. Then they got the Bears at the Bears on Thursday night, which is a terrible game on paper. It was a terrible game. This is going to be a terrible game. You got 2 really bad teams, and then you got the Cowboys at home. So hopefully they can win at least these next 3 games, get them something respectable, 3-6. Not give the Bears a top 2 pick at this point, at least with their pick. So, but man, the Panthers have really disappointed me this year, man. It's very embarrassing to be a Panthers fan when you know you're the only team that hasn't won a game. I thought at least Cardinals. I thought the Cardinals are going to be there easily. Maybe the Bucks or something. I didn't really believe in them, but yeah, man, it's tough. Number 3, I got team offenses. I got some bad ones and some good ones. The bad ones are the Bengals and the Saints. The Bengals were 8th in total offense last year. This year they're 32nd, which is obviously last. I mean, 5th in passing last year. This year they're 28th, 29th in the run last year, which isn't good, but it's worse now because they're 32nd. And last year they were 7th in points, and now they're 27th. I just thought. I mean, I get they had the injury with Joe Burrow, but offense is horrible. I mean, it's horrible. I can't even. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I if they can't turn this around, I don't know how they can make the playoffs at this point, especially with the schedule we just talked about. You got the Saints, who I thought once they got Derek Carr, you just talked about it, James. Once they got Derek Carr, I thought the offense was going to be a lot better along. I thought they was going to. No, that's not the case. They're horrible this year. So, I mean, damn, I had the stats and I lost it. But yeah, their offense is not good compared. I mean, last year they weren't good either, but I mean they didn't have Derek Carr, and they didn't have Michael Thomas. So I thought this year, at least coming back, that their offense was going to look a lot better, and it doesn't. It's actually worse compared to last year. Some offenses that are better than I thought. The Houston Texans, they were 31st last year in total yards. Already they're 9th. With a defensive head coach. So maybe you just get the right type of motivated head coach that can motivate your young quarterback, then Brandon Staley. Then maybe you can get a team how Houston's playing this year and how their offense looks. Even their passing yards is up from last year, 25th to 7th. So, and even points from 31st last year, almost last in the league to 14th. So they're playing a lot better. Look at a team like the Rams. The Rams, they didn't have their quarterback last year for the most part in Stafford. They even went out and got Baker Mayfield. They were 32nd in total yards last year. This year they're 7th, and they did most of this without Cooper Kupp. So they were 27th in the pass. This year they're 6th. So their offense is looking really well. Number 2, I have young rookies that have stood out this year. CJ Stroud for 1, 9 touchdowns and 1 pick. He looks really good. He's leading that team. Just talk about how good the offense is. I mean, it's a young team. Maybe I thought maybe 4 or 5 years the team will be turned around or getting back to how they were when they had Deshaun. But I mean, maybe in a couple years, less than that. So the offense looks good. Puka Nacua, he's tied for first place, 50 receptions. He's 4th in total yards. He did that mostly without Cooper Kupp. So now that Cooper Kupp's back, Cooper's going to take most of the reps or most of the completions, I guess, are going to be thrown his way or attempts going to be thrown his way more. But, I mean, through the first 4 weeks, I think he had the most yards by a rookie so in the NFL history. So he's balling out. And definitely Devon Achane. He only really played, if you think about it, only really played 3 games. And he has 455 yards in those games. Another game he played, he had 1 carry, I think, for 5 yards. But he has 460 yards total on 38 carries, which is insane. Averaging 12 yards a carry with 5 rushing touchdowns. It's unfortunate that he went down with an injury, but hopefully he'll come back in I think he's eligible in week 11 to come back. So I'm hoping that he comes back and is able to pick up right where he left off. It might be a tall task because that injury might take a toll on him. He might not be the same until next season. So we'll see, man. 3rd round pick with Puka Nacua. He's a 5th round pick. So these guys are ascending well so far this season. And the number 1 surprise is bad defenses and defenses. 2 bad defenses. Washington's last year they were 3rd. This year they're 29th.
Crazy.
Pass defense last year they were 4th. This year they're 27th. In points they were 7th last year. This year, they're 30th. I mean, but worse than them, if you couldn't get any worse, I thought. But the Denver Broncos. I mean, Denver went from 7th last year, which is not higher than Washington's, but now they're 32nd. They're 29th in passing. Last year they were 12th. They're 32nd against the run. Last year they were 10th, and of course the 32nd in points. Gave up 70. So I mean that definitely adds to their cause. Last year they were only 14th. So 2 bad defenses, and then 2 good defenses on the flip side. Even though Atlanta was struggling with the offense, the defense is playing pretty well, or better than advertised, I guess you could say. Last year they were 27th total defense. This year they're 4th. That coming. 25th against the pass last year. They're 4th again. So their defense is coming along a lot faster. They just need that offense, even though they have some good. They have 3, one at each position: wide receiver, running back, tight end, and the quarterback is the one thing that's holding them back. So they need to figure that out. And Detroit's defense. I mean, last year they were 32nd in total defense. This year they're 7th. 30th against the pass last year. This year they're 18th, so a little bit better. The last year in the run against the run they were 29th. This year they're 1st. And in points last year they were 28th. This year they're 9th. So Detroit's defense, I didn't see this coming either. To go from 32nd to 7th so far. That's just a big jump, but it's just I'm just kind of shocked. Not shocked, I guess, because it happens all the time. But I'm just kind of surprised at some of these things that I've been seeing, especially from the offensive and defensive side. I was going to put Miami in there because they're first in every single category in offense, but that was a little easier, so I went with the Rams instead. But hey, that's my top 5 this week. Top 5.
I like that. Surprises. Hey, man, those surprises were crazy, especially about the defense. But that's why we love the NFL, Craig, the parody. You know what I'm saying?
but
you get that all the
parody,
time.
yo.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's crazy about Atlanta defense, because the messed up part about Atlanta defense is that's not inherited. You drafted that.
Right.
So like the pieces on your offense right now that's supposed to be humming, you drafted. Like under your regime as head coach, you drafted Ritter, you drafted Robinson, you drafted London, you drafted Kyle Pitts. And for what and for the disappointment right now is for the hype they put around Kyle Pitts, it is by no means been that. And I think it's more coaching than his talent. I know he was hurt, but you remember when he got drafted, they was talking about Hall of Fame, gold jacket type talent, and you gotta go get it. No, sir. Ain't even been Pro Bowl talent. Ain't even been honorable mention for the flag game talent. Like as far as production. So it's like, dang, where is it at?
It's been pretty horrible. He's getting outshined by Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like
that's crazy.
To be a top 4 pick, and then you come out and you have, I think he has 4 total touchdowns. I think so. Throughout his whole career.
Over 3 seasons.
Yeah, 3 seasons, 4 total touchdowns. Yeah. I mean, that's just unacceptable, man. I don't know if it's more him.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's the quarterback.
But my thing is, you ain't like you got crazy talent around that offense where it's hard to feature him. Like outside of I understand Robinson. Okay, you got Drake London, but a talent like that, how you not moving him around, flexing him out, motioning him? How you not getting him the ball? I just don't understand.
He hasn't had a 100-yard game in almost 2 years. We're going to probably be at 2 years. He hasn't had a 100-yard game.
That's crazy. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
They need to figure it out because you're just wasting his talent too, or
wasting
it. Maybe it can't. I don't know if it's just him.
I don't know if it's just him.
It's got to be coaching.
I think it's got to be coaching because I don't think the quarterback gets them the ball a lot. He hasn't looked good.
Yeah, it's probably. I think it's a combination of coaching and the quarterback. The quarterback sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know why they thought. I don't know how
he sucks.
But I mean, they got Taylor Heineke there. I thought he was going to play this week against the Commanders in like a revenge.
Taylor Heineke plays. He's going to be throwing them the ball a lot.
I just think Taylor Heineke could probably give them a spark or something because they're going to need something.
They good. I don't know if they're going to win this week. But anyway, all right, guys, let's do that one crazy upset for week 7.
Ooh, hold on, man. You know, I might go crazy.
Yeah, I look. Yeah, I might go crazy.
It's the one I want to pick, but It's a crazy upset.
There's really nothing out there. You know what?
It's only really one out there. It's only
All
really
right,
one.
who do you have, Mo?
It's only really one out there. That's crazy upset though. Looking at this. Nope. I'm gonna go second one. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna go out there because we don't know what the injuries are. We don't know what the injury update is.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go out there. My crazy upset. I'm gonna go Vikings over 49ers Monday night. Whoa. They 2-4. They 2-4. They need it. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Vikings to upset 49ers Monday night.
Okay.
Next Monday night.
Now we getting.
I was going back and forth between that, but I'd rather go that than say Patriots than the Bills. No, that's not happening. I'm sorry. I don't think. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I feel like this at least more. This more realistic. I can't say Bill. I can't say Patriots beat the Bills. Nah, that offense look no sir. No.
You're not good. This is.
I love Bill Belichick. Death shout Bill Belichick, but I couldn't do it.
This is crazy. I don't know if I want to do it, but I might do it. And Mo, listen, I'm a fan. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a Commanders fan, but
Lord have mercy.
Watch out for these Giants, yo.
But okay, let me say
we
that.
Always play them close. We always play them close, and they beat us twice last year.
No, it's once.
We won. Yeah, we won an early one.
It was a tie, and it was a loss.
It was a tie and a loss, so that's 2 losses for me because we didn't get into the playoffs because of that.
Yeah.
You should have, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, Mo.
I get you, but let me say this.
I don't like that. I don't like going in. I don't like our defense is playing right now. We're giving up big plays. As Craig said earlier, I don't know. That's looking very, very.
That makes that Philly game must win.
It's on the menu.
I get it. That makes that Philly game must win because now what that would do. Yeah, put you 0-3 in the division.
Yeah,
right. You still have to play the Giants again, and you still have to play Dallas twice.
Yeah,
and you be 0-3 in the division. If you lose back to back, if you lose the Giants and Philly, you already 0-3 in the division, and you would still have to play Dallas
twice.
Yeah, I don't. That'd be bad. That'd definitely be a real bad loss.
All right, Craig, who you got?
Man, there's really not much out there, but let me go ahead. It's really not. I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't know why I'm saying it because I'm not really confident in it, and I don't even know if I will pick it in my weekly pick 'em. But I'm going with the Patriots over the Bills.
Yeah, I looked at that too.
And they're at home. They're 8.5 point underdogs at home.
Yeah.
Bills beat them 3 times in a row up there. It might be due theory at this point. It might be just due for a win at home, a divisional game. They're 1-5. They can't get. I mean, can you get much worse than this? The way they're playing, I don't know. I think they can come out and the Bills might take them for granted, overlook them a little bit, and I think the Patriots can get a win.
Yeah.
I don't even believe it.
I mean, both of our picks sound crazy, but that's what it's about. It's crazy upset alert. So it's not a lot, though. It's not a lot. All right, guys. Now we'll go to my favorite subject of the night, and who you got. We got some awesome games this week, and I can't wait. And I love it. Y'all stay in tune for who you got. I'm gonna start out with Mo on this one, man. Jags versus Saints. Who you got?
Offense going up and down. I don't know if I don't know the status of Lawrence, but if Lawrence plays, I'm gonna still go Jacksonville. I think ETN is picking up steam. I like they need to get the ball to Ridley, and Kurt and Jones. I think Jacksonville might be that team that just picks up steam like around like week 8. All of a sudden you see it start coming together like we thought it would. Defensively, I'm gonna go Saints. Defensively, I'm gonna go Saints. Coaching, I'm gonna go off of just this season. I'm gonna go with Dennis Allen. I think they're playing well. I mean, I think he's playing well. Kamara just came back. I think they're weathering storms. So I'm gonna go Dennis Allen. I think truly because of the whole AFC picture, I'm looking at the whole AFC picture more than the division. I think Jacksonville has to stay served. They've been playing well. They've been getting some wins, racking some wins up. I think they won 3 straight, if I'm not mistaken. We know Saints gonna play hard defensively, but I'm gonna go with Jacksonville. I'm gonna go Jacksonville in this one. I'm gonna go. Let's say I'm gonna go 27. I'm gonna go 27-21.
All right, Craig. Jags versus Saints. Who you got?
I'm going Doug Peterson as the coach. The team is 4-2. He's got them playing well. At least the last 3 games, won 3 in a row. They're looking pretty good. They beat a tough Bills team, even though it was I guess neutral site or whatever you want to call it over in London.
They beat
but that was a huge win, man. That was a huge momentum booster for that team. So I got to go with Doug Peterson as the coach. Offense, I agree with what Mo said about Trevor Lawrence. If he's healthy, I'm going with the Jags. He said he's optimistic that he's going to play this week, but it's a short week, so we don't know. It's unfortunate because, I mean, it's a short week. I like to see him get a little bit more rest, but it's not possible this week. So I'm hoping that he can come out and he'll be able to play. I like ETN. He's running the ball well for the most part anyway. He had 2 touchdowns last week. If really can, I mean, had his drops here and there. Ingram, like the offense looks really good, at least the skill position players. I'm just waiting to see how. It's just Derek Carr, man. He's just inconsistent to me. Like last week, he had 300 and some yards against the Texans. They ended up still only scoring 13 points. What is that? And then the week before, he only had. I mean, they did blow out the Patriots, but they only had like 100 and some passing yards, 5 touchdowns and 3 picks. He just doesn't look. It just doesn't look like I thought the team was going to be when they acquired. I thought that might have been like, I guess, the missing piece.
I don't know what we were thinking, Greg.
It's just the offense just looks terrible. I understand that the Bears are coming back, man, but looks terrible. Defense, it's the Saints. Goes without saying, they're top 5. I think top 5 defense. Both teams need this game. I think. I think the Saints need it more because that division between those 3 teams, them, the Bucs, and the Falcons, they're all right there with each other. And they've already lost to the Bucs. Man, I think I'm going to go Jaguars though. I think this is a big statement win. It's a road win. It's a tough division. It's a tough game on the road against a really good defensive team. I think they can come in there and get this win as long as Lawrence is healthy. If he's not healthy, then I'm definitely going to change the pick. But right now, I'm going low scoring game, 20-16.
Yeah, for coach, I'm going with Doug Peterson. Obviously, Doug Peterson has been there, Super Bowl winning coach. He had his team off a win last week in London, back-to-back London games. They won both. It's hard to win in London. We all know this. And, I'm going to be honest, man. I don't know what's going on with Dennis Allen. I thought he was going to be a better coach. And the defense is running good, so that's a great thing. But, like, his offense is crazy. There's too many weapons. But we'll get to that in short fashion. But I got Doug Peterson. And coming off the London trip, they won. You got to give them that. That's difficult to do. I know it's a short week. Hopefully Lawrence plays, which I think he will. Because, after the Thursday night game, it's almost considered like a bye week. Short week than a long week. But they got Peterson. Offense, I don't know what's going on with New Orleans. I'm gonna say it again. I'm a big Derek Carr fan, but after this year, he's especially if they don't make it to the playoffs, he's dropping off the list of even decent quarterbacks because there's no excuse in New Orleans. You're in a soft division. You have a great defense. You have Michael Thomas, who's healthy, Chris Olave, who's healthy, Alvin Kamara, who just came back. Jamal Williams is about to come back. I don't know what else a quarterback will want. A lot of quarterbacks should dream for that. Think of Olave and Michael Thomas were in New York. We could even say the Giants. I just think teams. What if Chris Olave was and Michael Thomas was in Carolina? I'm just saying. Teams. I mean, quarterbacks wish for that type of offense, but I don't know what's going on. Maybe they get it together, but they won't because they're the Saints. Drew Brees ain't coming back to those doors anytime soon, guys. Offense, I just gotta go Jags. You got Christian Kirk, Trevor Lawrence. Some people call him the Prince's Promise. I don't know about that. I just think he's a good quarterback. Travis Etienne. They're playing on all cylinders right now. And they're winning at the right point in time. So I got Jaguars. I got offense. Defense, I gotta go with the Saints. Saints defense has always been good. That's what I will give Dennis Allen. And that's why I kind of put the offense more on Derek Carr because Dennis Allen has the defense going through. He does. So he's a bad head coach, but he's a great defensive coordinator. If his job as head coach is to mind the defense, he's doing a good job because the offensive coordinator and Derek Carr need to get that stuff together. Because next thing you know, this is the time of year. If you lose a couple in a row, you start to spiral. And you know, it's hard, man. It's hard to if you don't have a easy schedule, it's hard to go on a couple game winning streak. September's a month to do it because the grind gets harder and harder every month in the NFL. More film, teams watching, all that. All that to say, I got the Jacksonville Jaguars winning because, of course, the Saints have turned back into the Aints. And they're not good. And the score will be 28-20, Jacksonville. All right, Craig. This is a good one. Lions versus Ravens. Who you got? A 1 p.m. time slot.
I'm going with the Campbell for the coach. I think his team is. I mean, they could be undefeated at this point. I mean, they had a chance to beat the Seahawks. They ended up losing that game. Close game again. I mean, every game for them has for the most part has either been them win. I mean, obviously them winning the game easily lately. They haven't played really anybody since that Chiefs game though. Or I should say since the Seahawks game. So the last 4 games they kind of just been handed 4 wins for the most part. Even though the Packers game is a division game. Got to give it to them. They went on the road this past week and beat a Bucs team that was 3-1 coming off of a bye. So they were able to handle their business. This is going to be a tough game on the road in Baltimore coming up, but Campbell's got these guys playing exceptionally well. 5-1. I mean, who would have thought the Lions would have been 5-1 at this point? So, and I know a lot of people, including myself, were clowning Campbell for the kneecap stuff and how he was at the press conference and all that. But I mean, hey, it's working, man. Whatever he did or whatever he's doing, he's got this team playing excellent and it's working. Offense, I gotta go with the Lions. If they have at least one of those running backs, Gibbs or Montgomery, healthy, I gotta go with the Lions. If neither one of them are healthy, then I will probably lean Ravens slightly just because at least they have somewhat of a competent running back, 2 competent running backs in Justice and I can't remember his other guy's name. I can't remember. But Gus Edwards, I think. They have 2 solid running backs. The problem with the Ravens is at least in that one game, they had too many drops.
Yeah.
And Bateman has been he's been a disappointment. to be a first round wide receiver, and he hasn't shown up at all. I think his most catches this year in the game is either like 2 or 3, so he's done nothing. Odell Beckham, I get it. He's coming off of an injury or whatever. He's getting up there in age as well. So I'm looking for him to provide leadership to some of those younger guys and maybe to like make a spectacular play here and there. Mm-hmm. But I'm not looking for him to lead the team in receptions. I thought that was going to be Bateman. And at least in terms of wide receivers, and that hasn't happened. The Lions, they just got Williams back, Jameson Williams back. They have St. Brown, Amon-Ra Brown. He came off of an injury. He played last week. The offense is looking amazing. And you have Jared Goff that looks like a fringe MVP candidate. So I got to go with them. I know Lamar's over there. You said he wins 75% of his games and all that, but that Lions offense looks better than the Ravens at this point. Defense on the lines again, which is something I never thought I would say, at least not against the team like the Ravens. The Lions have a top 5, top 7 defense or something like that. I said earlier, like their defense is
top 5.
I think they're 7th.
Let me tell you. I can go ahead. I'm gonna tell you.
I mean, their defense has been playing crazy. Hutchinson looks like a defensive player of the year candidate. He's one of those guys. I don't want to really put him in the conversation with like Bosa or Parsons or Myles Garrett or somebody like that. But I mean, he's getting there if he's not there already. So you got to give him credit on that and how the defense is turned the season around. And it's like the biggest improvement for this team. So I got the Lions all the way across the board. I think this is a prove it type of game. I think the game against the Chiefs was, and they went out there and they showed up. Granted, the Chiefs didn't have Kelsey, but they still showed up. They played hard against the Seahawks, a team that was coming off of a loss that was kind of in like, I ain't gonna say must-win mode because I think every game in the NFL is a must-win, but they were in desperation mode because they didn't want to fall to 0-2 and they went on the road and beat a tough Lions team. And then you got this game coming, huh?
I'll tell you.
Oh, then you got this game coming up against the Ravens. It's going to be a tough environment. It's going to be a tough road game, but I got the Lions. I got the Lions coming out of this game with a win. I'm just starting to believe now in this team, and something I probably would have never said years ago. But this could be the start of a big run. 24-20.
All right. Mo, who you got with the Lions versus Ravens?
Coaching. I mean, it's what you done for me lately. I mean, we go off body of work. You guys say Harbaugh, but I'm gonna go what you done for me lately. I'm gonna go with Dan Campbell. I just love how he's playing. Playing his guys. I love the attitude. Shoot down 2 backs, back get hurt, still doing it. Then to incorporate a receiver, just come back off gambling and get him in the game early, scoring. I mean, I like it. The defense is playing both lights out. So I'm gonna go Dan Campbell. Offensively, I'm gonna go to Lions. Just overall weapons. Then you got St. Brown got going again. You got Williamson. You got when you get Montgomery and Gibbs back right now, for what the hype has been around Ravens offense, it looks the same as it was last year. I mean, it just looks different formations, but it still just looks, raggedy. The running game is even suffering, but then the passing game not there, because of offensive line or missed pass opportunities or receivers dropping the ball. So I'm gonna go Lions. Defensively, I'm sorry. Defensively, I'm doing this strictly off of the struggles of the offense. I'm gonna go Ravens. I think for what the struggles have been offensively from the Ravens, their defense has held them in games and given them the chances to finish games and score, because that offense is not looking nothing like what people were saying when you bring in an Odell Beckham, you draft a Jay Flowers. I understand Dobbins got hurt again, but for what they were citing these receivers, and you got a Mark Andrews, I haven't seen him used likely like that. So I mean, this defense has really kept them in games based off what we thought it was going to be. So I'm gonna go with Ravens defense.
Mm.
In this game, I think Baltimore. I'm a homer. I lived in Baltimore for a couple of years, so I root for both teams unless we're playing each other. I just think Ravens offense is not going to make enough plays in this game, and this is where it gets exposed on a true level. I'm gonna go. I'm sorry to say what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna go Detroit 27-17.
All right, coaching. I got Dan Campbell, man. Even though I like Harbaugh, I'm a person in the now. Like, what have you done for me lately? And the Lions currently rank not Mo, but they're in top 5 team in the NFL. It's got to say something to Dan Campbell, man. Like I said, bite the kneecaps. I don't know how you bite kneecaps. I've never been a kneecap in my life before, but you feel my own kneecaps, you probably got to have a strong jawbone. You got to be crazy. I've never heard that term before, but I just gonna go with Campbell. They believe in him. They'll run through a wall. The type of leadership that brings is uncanny. So, and they got a chip on their shoulders, man. People talking about they might represent the NFC. I haven't said it, but it's talks, Mo. Don't kill the messenger. Offense. I gotta go with the Lions. I love Lamar Jackson. I love what he's done, but hey, shout out to Zay Flowers, man. Zay Flowers is balling this year. He's balling, and I love it. So shout out to Zay Flowers. He's balling. Odell Beckham is a little old. We knew this was going to happen. He's knowing Odell later in the season is when he'll probably start jumping off, and then I don't know where Rashad Bateman is. And because of that, I got to pick the Lions offense because of the way Jared Goff is playing. Thank you for those stats, Mo. The way that Amon St. Brown, some call, the sun god, he's just a regular human on earth. That's what I think he is. But he's playing a great receiver. They got Reynolds. It's just they're just doing good, man. And their offense is humming. And the defense, I'm picking Detroit. They're 7th in the league. This defense, listen, I think they did something that not a lot of teams have done is they built through the draft. So they can pay Jared Goff and St. Brown, right? But if they have those other key core players believing in them, then they're going to be good for a long time. And then they're all playing with a chip on the shoulder because they're you know how Detroit is, Motor Town. They ain't believe in us. Jared Goff's like they traded me from LA, so I like Detroit. I really like the Ravens, and I picked them to go far. But I think Detroit wins this game. I think it's going to be really close. I think this game is because the reason I say it's close, and I know the Ravens' offense is crazy, but Lamar Jackson is balling. He's balling. He wins 75% of his games. But it depends if he turns the ball over or not. But I think this is a close game. I think it's 24-23, ends on a field goal. I think it's that close. It's gonna be really good. All right. Steelers versus the Rams. The head coach, I got Sean McVay. I like what Tomlin is doing this year, but I like Sean McVay because he shocked everybody. They have a lot of rookies starting. And to be honest with you, who would think that the Rams they would have the record they have right now? I didn't think so. I didn't think the Rams would have the record that they have. They're 3-3. That's a phenomenal coaching job. And I know Pittsburgh's 3-2, but Pittsburgh had Kenny Pickett coming in the second year. Their offense doesn't look good. The offensive line doesn't look good. I don't know where Najee Harris has been. Hope they can fix that. But they got Puka Nacua balling, Tutu Atwell balling, Cooper Cup. I gotta go with the Rams. That's coaching. Offense, like I just said it, I gotta go with the Rams again. They got Kyron Williams running the ball, who's a rookie. That offensive line is young, guys. And they're playing to the competition. Their defense is young. That's leadership and coaching. But for the offense, they got Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua. Come on, man. Cooper Cup, who was Steve Smith's number one receiver in the 2017 class. Defense, I'm going to go with the Steelers on defense, even though because right now, oh man, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to go with the Rams on defense. I just look what the Pittsburgh Steelers have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They're giving up almost 400 yards a game. That's crazy. But they only play one game. But the Rams are not much better. But the Rams have Aaron Donald. The Steelers are T.J. Watt. But overall, I think the Rams are playing a better defensive game because I've seen the Steelers get blown out for no reason. Guys, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm going to pick the Rams. I think they're in LA. I think it might be well, no, that's the Chargers who have home field at home. So I think the Rams fans will come out. I think the Rams exploit that Steelers defense. I know Steelers is on the bye. I know Tomlin probably has a good record coming off the bye, but I think he loses. I think the Rams win this one convincingly 31-17. Mo, who you got? Steelers versus Rams.
Coaching. I'm gonna go. Coaching. I'm gonna go. I know it sounds crazy what people won't say, but I'm gonna go with Mike Tomlin. I understand what people are saying about, what people are saying about, Sean McVay about what they're coaching with Mike Tomlin, with the coaching with that old coordinator, but for all this smoke, they're technically in the division lead. Baltimore only has it because they had the one more game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they were on equal playing field, Pittsburgh has the tiebreaker. So I would say with the job Mike Tomlin is doing, no matter what people are saying right now, they would be in the playoffs right now after 6 games, regardless if you like them, love them, or hate them. So I would go Mike Tomlin. The defense is balling. We know what T.J. Watt can do. Their linebackers are balling. Once again, another example of a Washington player leaving us and balling out. Cole Holcomb. Secondary's playing well, so I'm gonna go with Mike Tomlin. Offensively,
who you going with offensively?
Yeah, offense. I can't go with the Steelers. I'm gonna go with the Rams. Their offense just been terrible. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams. I like the kid Williams. The rookie Cup is back. I'm gonna go with the Rams there. I thought Pickens was gonna be way more advanced than what he was this year. I mean, so far. Najee Harris. I don't even know if Najee Harris even has. Everybody be in week 6. I don't even know if Najee Harris even has 300 yards rushing yet. He's just been ridiculous. I thought Najee Harris was going to have a breakout season. I thought they improved on the O line, but they haven't. So I'm gonna go with the Rams offense. Defensively, I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers are the reason they're 3-2 right now. Their defense just played lights out and giving them opportunities to stay in it. They've shortened the field. They shortened the game for them. So I'm gonna go with the Steelers. This tough one here. I mean, Rams are 3-3 despite. I mean, you know what? I think Pittsburgh offense is just it just hasn't shown nothing yet, and I think Rams are going to have more. But I'm gonna go a close one. I'm gonna go Rams 27-20.
Craig, Steelers versus Rams. Who you got?
Okay, so coaching, kind of going back and forth with this one a little bit. I want to say Tomlin, just because his team has a better record, even though they played one less game. But I think I'm gonna lean towards McVay slightly. The teams that they lost to have been some really good teams: the Niners, the Bengals on paper, I guess, and the Eagles. So that's tough to. I mean, and they were in pretty much all those games, I guess you could say. They didn't get blown out. So I think, and all those games except for the Eagles game that they lost, they didn't have Cooper Kupp. So they were in those games. They had a chance to win. They ended up losing, but they did go on the road to beat the Seahawks and beat the Colts. So I'm just going to slightly lean towards Sean McVay. Offense, I can't pick the Steelers. Their offense is Deontay Johnson comes back this week possibly, but their offense is terrible. I don't know, man. Kenny Pickett, I thought it was going to be a coming out year. People were praising him in the preseason, which I never do, but he just looks terrible. Pickens is the only guy that they have. I don't even know what's going on with Pat Fairmouth. I was waiting for him to emerge as a top 5 tight end.
Huge.
He just not even getting the ball. I mean, he has 8 catches in 4 games. That's horrible. There's just no excuse to have, especially with Deontay Johnson out. You're not getting the ball to Allen Robinson, so you pretty much or you're not getting the ball to Najee Harris either. So you only have one pass catcher, and that's Pickens, and you're still not getting Fairmouth the ball, especially after the season he had last year. So that's I don't know what's going on with that, but but the way that the Rams offense has looked, I mentioned it earlier with the numbers, like their offense has emerged, and that's mostly without Cooper Kupp. So got to give them credit for that. And they got a rookie at running back. They traded away Cam Akers. Williams is starting. He might be out this week, but still, man, that offense is looking a lot better than I thought. Defense, I can't pick the Steelers, man. Normally I would. Well, both teams usually have really good defenses. Steelers definitely. But the Steelers defense this year, Jason said it, man. They're 29th, I think, in total defense, or 30th in total defense. 30th. That's as uncharacteristic of a Steelers team to give up almost. They're like 390 yards total in terms of yards per game. Granted, they are getting turnovers. They're forcing turnovers. They have 11 in 5 games, which is really good. So they're causing some type of disruption there, but it's those 2 games that they lost 30-7 and 30-6. I mean, that just hurt them for the most part. And crazy. The 30-7 to the 49ers, okay, cool. The 30-6 to the at home, or excuse me, on the road to the Texans. There's no excuse for that one. Yeah, I just, even though the Rams defense isn't phenomenal, like Aaron Donald only has 2.5 sacks. He's not playing like the Aaron Donald we've known for the last, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. But I got to go with the Rams defense.
Crazy.
This is a tough game. It's a team going from the East for the most part. I mean, relatively from the East Coast to they are East time zone, East to the West. And I don't know I don't know what the record is between when teams travel from East to West or West to East, but I can't pick the Steelers even though they're coming off a bye week, with the way their offense looks. It just looks. They just look disinterested. Like they just don't look like they want to be out there sometimes. Hopefully Deontay Johnson comes back and provides some type of spark. Hopefully they can get the ball to Fairmouth, but I think it's not going to be enough. I got the Rams 27-17.
I agree with you, man. It's not. Do we really want to do the Chargers and Chiefs?
Nah, I think we should just close out with Miami. Yeah. I think we should just close out. I think we should just close out with Miami. I think we should just close out Miami and Philly. Yo.
I think everybody's going. I noticed it was like everybody.
Yeah, I was looking down the list. I'm like,
if they had won this week.
Yeah, they had won.
They had won. Yeah.
I might have picked them because the Chiefs' offense looks horrible, but
it looks horrible. But the Chargers look.
They'll watch the Chargers win anyway, so it don't even matter. But
I don't know. They haven't beat the Chiefs in a minute. I don't trust Brandon Staley, man. I don't trust him in late game situations. If this is a close game, I can't trust him, Craig. I can't.
Yeah, he is pretty. They could be 0-5 with some of the decisions he's made down.
Yes.
So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, 0-5.
He got bailed out by a terrible quarterback play on the other side.
Yep.
Interception by Garoppolo and bad clock management by Cousins.
Yep. They could have lost. Woo.
Yeah, they could have lost.
All right, Mo. This is the last one. I'm gonna start off with you because this is what you've been hyping up, man. Dolphins versus Eagles. Who you got?
Yeah. Ooh.
Here we go.
You know
Here
what?
we go. Here we
you
go.
Know what, man? Coaching, just coming off of what happened with them last season in the playoffs and losing that playoff game. Coaching right now, I'm gonna go Mike McDaniels. 5-1. That one was kind of tough. Buffalo's playing well, but other than that, they've been putting up crazy video game like numbers. I like what they've been doing, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go coaching wise. I'm gonna go Mike McDaniels. Offensively, I'm gonna go with Miami. I mean, Philly has the weapons, but the offense definitely look different. I understand losing your coordinator is tough, so it's definitely been looking different. It's shown flashes at the moment, but definitely not nothing like last year. Defensively, I'm gonna go with Philly. I think I trust them more defensively to get in crunch time moments right now. And then when they get healthy, Jalen Carter gets back. I know he took some hits in the secondary, but I'm still gonna go Philly. I can see this being a shootout. I honestly can see this being a shootout. I'm going to go Miami 37-30.
All right, Craig. Miami versus I was about to say Miami versus Dolphins versus Eagles. Who you got?
Coaching, I'm going with McDaniels. I think that the way his team has been playing in these first 6 games, I thought the offense was going to be good. And the offense was good last year. It was the best in the NFL when Tua was healthy and he was there. And then he gets hurt, and then it just drops off for the most part. And I thought they're going to be really good this year, but they've exceeded my expectations so far. So I got to go with the job he's done with this team. I thought they had them at like a 6 seed, and right now it looks like they could be the number 1 seed in the AFC, which is not. I guess it's surprising, but I just didn't see it at this point. So I got to go with McDaniels. Offense, definitely the Dolphins. They lead the league in total yards, passing, rushing, and points. They're almost averaging 500 yards a game and 37 points a game. So, I mean, if they had their rookie, Devon Achane, I mean, who knows where this running game could be. I mean, the running game is still really good, but it could be even better if they had him still healthy in the lineup. I'd love to see what's going to happen when he comes back. I mean, Waddle and Hill is my choice for offensive player of the year at this point. So
he might get 2,000 plus yards, bro.
At this point, I mean, 6 games in, he's at 800 yards.
He might break the record.
Over 800 yards. I mean, like, come on, man.
Yeah, he might break that record.
Every week, it seems like he's getting like a 40-yard pass easily past everybody on the defense, no matter who is back there. So I just don't know. I mean, the Eagles defense has kind of been susceptible to some of these big plays every now and then. But man, that offense for that Dolphins is ridiculously nice. Defensively, I am going with the Eagles. They have a top 10 defense. The Dolphins defense is definitely their Achilles heel. Especially without Ramsey on when he comes back. Who knows how good the secondary could be.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm going with the Eagles. Another tough game that they played defensively against the Jets, another really good defensive team. For this game, the Eagles, or excuse me, the Dolphins cannot afford to go down like they did against the Panthers, 14-0, or it could get ugly for them. They're going to be in a struggle like they were against the Buffalo Bills. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think they just kind of let their guard down against the Panthers because they're 0-5 and now 0-6. So I think they're going to come out more aggressive and more focused on this game because this is a big game, road game against a really good team. The Eagles really haven't played anybody so far this year. I think their best opponent probably was at Tampa.
Yeah,
possibly. Maybe the Rams, but I would probably go Tampa. And obviously the Dolphins' best opponent was at the Bills. Both teams are the Eagles coming off of a tough loss. They need this game because this one starts their 8 straight tough games in a row. But I'm going with the Dolphins, man. I'm hoping for a shootout. I was hoping for a shootout. Every time I hope for a shootout, it seems like it never happens. But I'm really hoping that this game is an offensive explosion. The Dolphins haven't scored no less than 24 points this year. So give me the Dolphins in a close shootout game, 38-34.
Woo! I mean, I hope it's a shootout. I ain't gonna lie. I hope so. This is the game we've been waiting on, and Sunday night be having the best games. Anyway, unfortunately, Monday night's going to be a slaughter, but too bad they can't flex. Because I would have put the Ravens and Lions on Monday night. Anyway,
man, they need to do something because they got to think about when can they flex? Is it later in this?
I think it's later.
I think it's after week 13. I think the last 5 weeks. The last 4 or 5 weeks they flex.
They need to change that joint. They need to change it seriously because then I would man flexing that joint. Lions and Ravens. I mean,
look at week 8 Sunday night. It's the Bears and the Chargers.
They got it. I'm not. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. They need to do the Bengals versus San Francisco.
They need to do something. Anything besides that. I don't know why they keep putting the Bears in prime time. Anyway.
I don't know. The Bears, Raiders be in prime time.
Maybe they thought bringing DJ Moore in and then they thought what's happening with Steph Ford. I don't know.
And maybe they're just still going on the history of the Bears because it's
I don't know. It's a couple teams that's probably going to be on prime time.
They've had too many prime time games this year. It's ridiculous.
We
had last year and to go in this many prime time games is crazy.
Crazy.
Hey, do Washington even have another primetime game?
No,
that's what I'm saying. The Bears have to play the Panthers on Thursday Night Football. And they get a Sunday night game against the Chargers, and they already played Thursday night against the Commanders.
Yeah, they don't need to be a prime time. They don't need to be a prime time. They had
crazy.
This is crazy. They had the number 1 pick, and they looks like they're gonna have the number 2 pick.
And they got the Vikings coming up at the Vikings in prime time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, I'm just not. I don't get it. It's too much popularity with some of these teams that are just not.
They are.
I didn't think the Bears were going to be good anyway, so I don't know.
No, why were they on prime time? They're not good. They're not. Now they might be good when they get Caleb Williams. All right, Dolphins versus Eagles. I gotta go. Mike McDaniels is the head coach. This guy is explosive. I read a story where he got kicked out the NFL because he had an alcohol problem. And he stopped drinking, and now he's the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Good story to turn it around when you see your life not going in the direction that you wanted to. And he's a good coach, man. The first time I heard about him, of course, you start hearing rumors about the way they game plans. But when he was in Cleveland, he was on the offensive staff in Cleveland. People forget that Kyle Shanahan was I believe the offensive coordinator when Johnny Manziel was there. Mike McDaniels was on the staff. I think he might have been the receivers coach. And Andre Hawkins was like, he was on NFL Network, and he was like, he was the first coach to tell me to act like you're crossing somebody up on an NBA court, and he says you'll get off your jam every time. So he was like, he's a good coach. So shout out to him. I like Shane Steichen. I think that he has to figure out this offense and defensive coordinator. But I gotta give it to Mike McDaniels. Offense, I can't pick Philly because Jalen Hurts has had. Well, I said this. He has a lot of turnovers. This isn't like Jalen Hurts that I know, because even his rookie year he took care of the ball. He's kind of not taking care of the ball. There's nothing wrong with that, but that leads to games not being won. And this is the NFL. You got to win games. Offense, I got to go with Miami. Two is an MVP conversation. Tyreek Hill's an offensive player of the year. Then you got Waddle. Then you got Mostert. Like this offense is on fire, and they are scoring at will. And if you have a defense that is exposed, they're going to expose you. Their defense is not good at all. But this is Vic Fangio first year, so next year they're going to be dangerous because they'll be healthy. He'll get a full camp with all the starters healthy. Their defense is going to be a problem next year. Miami's going to be a problem. So, but I gotta go to Eagles. They 10th best defense in the league, but they are giving up some points. I'm scared. Eagles apply pressure, but the way that Miami's playing this year, they've been keeping to a pretty upright and clean. They know that he is responsible for them winning. So defense, I go Philly, but I'm not gonna lie to you. This is a test for the Eagles, and they're not gonna pass. They're gonna get exposed, man. That defense is gonna get exposed. This is not the team you want to play when you can't beat. When you can't beat, the Eagles should be 6-0 heading into this week because of the gauntlet that they have coming up, as we discussed. This unfortunately is a must win for them, and that's not good coming off a loss. But the Eagles respond really well to adversity, and they're a veteran team, and I think they'll bounce back. They might lose 2 in a row, but we'll see. They might beat the Dolphins, but they might lose 2 in a row, and I think they will. And this will start getting the locker room like, okay, let's get it together. And I think they lose 35-31. It's going to be a high-scoring game, so I can't wait. So, all right, guys, that is it. That is the end of Who You Got. This was a nice, long show, maybe because the NBA. We did interact with some fans. That's always love. So, all right, guys, we're going to see y'all next Tuesday at 7:15, man. All right, man. Peace.